Hello, classmates. Scary movies are on the way, Teenage Mutant Ninja sequels, and the gang weighs in on Alex Garland's Civil War.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller?
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Pete.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Joseph.
And we have a banner show, a spectacular show for you today. And Tyler's back. Tyler's back in the house.
Big
I know
news.
a lot of people were.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on.
Hold on a second.
Wait.
Hold on.
Tyler's destroyed our set.
I just moved my elbow back. I didn't know it was that close.
Tyler's confused about
It's been too long.
the machinations of this studio. He's only been here. No, it's on the edge right there.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. I apologize.
Hey, nice
for
and
that.
blue.
Okay. All right.
I apologize
Well,
for that.
a seamless intro back into the show today.
Right. Part of the course.
Well, actually, I was thinking about this. Javier was here last week. And when I'm gone, I have a little theme that I made for myself.
Yeah, like a 12-minute long.
Right.
Yeah, like a 12-minute long
Or
theme.
roll out a victorious reclamation to the show.
And so I figured that I'd make one for Tyler.
Oh, cool.
So Tyler,
Let's hear it. All right.
Tyler's back.
Tyler's back.
Tyler's
All right.
back, everybody.
It's great to be back, guys.
That was
It's
good.
great to be back.
How'd you-
How about you have Javier as a host now? How about that?
he lives in San Diego.
It
He's a
seems
bit-
like everyone prefers him over to me.
He's a hot commodity. he's got PSA ads, public service announcements to do.
Yeah.
He's doing a more important
It's a very
things.
busy.
Yeah, than this.
Yeah.
Objectively not important show. But entertaining, I hope. Hi, Joseph Bridges in the chat. What's up, buddy? How are you? Oh, he wants some dump talk. How was the dump?
Oh, yeah, the dump.
Oh,
the
dump.
reason, the glorious reason why you had to miss our show.
Well, Joseph, it was a colossal disappointment.
Oh, really?
It was a colossal disappointment because the last time I went to the dump, they corralled us into a huge pile of stuff that you could look through.
Things.
And I remember. I think I was preteen. I was looking through all the trash and I found some cool things. And but this time around, if anyone who's coming onto the show right now, I had to miss the show because I had to help the old man.
I already said that. Well, what did you get from the dump?
Nothing.
What did you?
Scabies?
It was. What's really an interesting thing is that when you go to the dump, especially in this day and age, you just throw stuff onto the ground.
What did you do when you were a kid? You were standing on the garbage and throwing it in?
I was climbing up mountains of stuff. But
Mountains of trash.
You say stuff that's garbage, Tyler. It's not stuff. It's trash.
I don't know if it's garbage, but we pulled up to this clearing, and then we just throw it on the ground.
Yeah,
That's how it works. It's a literal pile of trash out there. Where you want to put it?
Well, I don't know, but it just.
Wait a second. They don't have any trash cans out there?
It just seems.
You're just littering?
It just seems it seems weird because you're going out into this beautiful clearing, and then you're just throwing.
beautiful.
I like how you. Yeah, it's beautiful. This stinks for a mile and a half prior to you arriving at
It
your
is.
destination.
You can see the Sierra Mountains in the foreground.
You can also
it's
see
awesome.
the seagulls circling because of the shit.
There is a lot of seagulls there.
I know.
There's a lot. Oh, I saw a bald eagle though.
bald
No, you
eagle.
didn't.
I have a picture of it.
You didn't see a bald eagle.
No, it was.
In Sacramento at a landfill.
I literally have a picture of it.
Okay. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but I just don't believe you.
I have a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
But the dump was a colossal disappointment because
very sad.
I wanted to find a sword.
No one's throwing away swords.
You know what? You're going into your expectation that you're going to receive a sword for free from the dump. Number one, that's functional. Number two, I have a very specific idea in mind. That's like when someone watches a movie and they're like, I thought it was going to be like this, and I was disappointed. It's like, that's on you, buddy.
It's like watching Transformers and discovering it's not about electricians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it was a disappointment, but I'm glad to be back in the studio.
We're glad to have you back.
and kibitzing with you guys.
Yeah, as much shit as we talk, we're glad to have you back.
Oh yeah, I heard that last episode.
Did you like
How was it?
Javier's impression of you?
Yeah. Yeah.
He pulled out some of the old classics. How dare you?
Yeah.
Take the shears to that. He said.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very good. Did you watch Blackberry?
No.
Joseph, you owe me $10. I bet. I said, in no way, shape, or form did Tyler watch Blackberry.
Why didn't you watch Blackberry? It's got your Glenn Howerton in it.
Because I wasn't going to be on the show. Like, why would I?
So I'm not going to watch a movie if I don't have to.
Yeah.
I would have to rent it.
No,
No, you
it's on
don't. On
Hulu.
Hulu.
Oh,
Which we talked about.
that's right. That's
all
right.
the
You're right.
episode.
You're right. You know, I that was completely lost on me. I apologize.
Anyways, let's
should-
get into some proper gab and chatter.
Oh, okay.
Find some charity in ye, lad. Now's the time for gab and chatter.
Gab and chatter, movie news of the week. Tyler, what do you have for us?
All right. So I have a news story from the Hollywood Reporter. There's a new scary movie coming out. You guys remember Scary
Like,
Movie?
What's it called?
Like the movie Scary Movie.
Yeah, the movie Scary.
Oh,
like
from
that-
the franchise.
Yeah, the franchise. It's coming out from Paramount. I don't know if it's going to be streaming or not. Like, I think they're going to try
We won't know until like literally the week before.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to try to do a theatrical release or not, which I think they should.
Of course they should.
I think they should
The series
because
was profitable.
And well, I mean, I really like the Scary Movie franchise. Like, I think in the era of when those kind of like spoof movies were coming out, I think Scary Movie came out in the lead.
It was the clear stand apart. I mean, not another teen movie was a pretty good spoof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But
yeah.
then it really went down the hill with like Meet the Spartans and superhero movie and some.
As soon as they passed Scary Movie 3, it was it went downhill from there.
Three's the one with
The Signs.
they're making fun of signs.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen's the president.
Yeah, right.
That's a great
one. Interestingly enough, Miramax is also behind the project, which will be shooting this fall.
They did the original
2024.
ones, too,
Yeah,
right?
it was Dimension Films, which is a division of
Right.
Miramax.
Dimension.
Dimension, yeah, which is funny because Scream was also released by Dimension.
Is that right?
Yeah, they
I
parodied
didn't
themselves.
even make that connection. So Paramount and Miramax are making a new take on the franchise and expect to go before cameras. That's a weird sentence. And expect to go before cameras in the fall. I don't know.
First
I
time
don't-
Tyler's reading that sentence ever.
That's not true, but like it just.
It basically means they're trying to shoot before fall.
Yes.
Yeah,
This fall.
yeah.
So this is actually interesting that I didn't know is that Scary Movie launched in 2000, which I think Scream launched in 99 or 98, like somewhere around that time. And just a few years after Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer arrived on the scene to dominate the horror landscape, director Keenan Ivory Wayne's feature grossed $278 million globally.
That's a pretty good take for
Yeah.
A comedy?
parody comedy horror movie.
Right.
It's pretty good for basically what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Scream dominated the early 2000s, and I think the last movie came out in 2013. So they're trying to reboot it. I don't know. Like they have a lot of content that they can parody right now.
Yeah, since
because
2013, there's 11 years of great horror movies in there.
exactly.
We
So
could do some Hereditary stuff. We could do some
Midsommar.
Well, they
Some
would definitely
Witch.
parody an A24 horror movie.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, just the trope of
yeah,
There's
it's
got to be
horror.
like the lockdown image of the person's
Yeah.
face in horrified with fire behind them or something.
And so like when I looked up this story, I was thinking, okay, so when they do the reboot, it's going to be an A24 horror parody. And I am all for it. I am
And
all for
Blumhouse.
it.
Yeah,
And Blumhouse
for
too.
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like Blumhouse would be the expectation because
Right.
like you're talking, it made fun of The Ring. It made the old ones made
Right.
fun of Scary Movie.
What have we had that as like equivalent to Scream though? Because like that was
we
like
still have Screams?
I know, but I guess we still do have Scream movies.
They'll make fun. I think I'm going to call it
Didn't
right
they
now.
already remake the Scream movie?
Yeah, it got kind of like soft rebooted, but it's
Yeah.
actually more like a requel.
Oh, okay.
It's still in the same universe.
The last two movies are kind of considered requels, but I'm going to call it right now. I think that they're going to make a joke about how Ghostface has a gun because in Scream 7 or Scream 6 or whatever, he had a shotgun. And,
shotgun.
and purists were like, "No way, not my Ghostface. He uses a knife."
No, a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I'm glad that they're going to be soft. I wouldn't even say soft rebooting. They're just
We don't know.
making
It could be a sequel. It could be anything.
I think they're going to play on that too. I think they're going to play on about it being like a sequel and.
Yeah, I don't know who would like. Did they say who would be writing it?
No writing credits yet, but there is
No.
a producer attached, which is the guy that did Fast and Furious.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
The Fast and Furious, like of the Fast and Furious.
We don't know if it's an entire franchise, but it just
Not the
says
parody Fast and Furious
No.
movie.
I don't think. Is there a parody?
Yeah, there was a parody.
There
I can't-
was?
Yeah, there was. I can't remember the name of it though.
Was
Oh.
it Speed
not
Racer?
No.
There was a Fast and Furious parody movie.
Interesting.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Is
Well,
that-
anyways, yeah. I mean, that's.
I'll watch it. I can't wait.
I will watch it as well. I can't.
Parody movies are great when they're great.
I mean, we
And
haven't.
when they're bad, they're very bad.
Yeah, they're very bad.
The
But
the
you
movie
know,
was called Super Fast.
super. I
Never
have
heard of
never
that.
Parody
even
movie.
heard of that.
Yeah, called Super Fast. With an
But-
exclamation point.
They wrote that about my love life in the 20s, in my 20s, my college years.
But yeah, like it also got me thinking too. It's like, when is the last time that we had like a modern parody movie? Like, when was the last time
Dix
that?
the musical.
Oh,
That wasn't a parody movie.
I don't know if that's.
It's a parody of a good movie.
Parody of a musical, maybe.
But I was thinking, because like this was so prevalent in the early mid 2000s that we haven't seen one in quite some time in our society. So I was thinking
We're due for a good parody movie.
we are due. Yes, exactly. We are due for a good parody, and from the giant franchise that is Scary Movie.
Yeah, there are a number of more kind of recent ones.
Super Fast.
So Shaun of the Dead is the closest one I can see that is like a true parody movie.
Okay.
It's not even really a parody
No,
movie.
it's
no,
not.
that's really a
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
It's
really
a different
original.
spin on a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we're getting the Leslie Nielsen or Liam Neeson Naked Gun soon, and that's a straight up parody of
That's right,
those
yeah.
movies. So maybe the renaissance of the parodies is back.
Yeah, I think
We're
I
back.
think I think
Cinema
because
is back.
well, I think the 19 cloaked our world with darkness, and now
We're finding they're
creatives-
funny again.
creatives are like, okay, you know what? We got to make. Actually, you know what? No, the executives in Hollywood, they're saying, okay, we got to make the world laugh again. Like this, like enough is enough. Like we've done the dark shit. Now we got to go into the light.
All right, cool, awesome. Anything else on it?
No, that's it.
Beautiful. Okay, Joseph, what do you have to talk about today?
I have a couple of things. First, did you guys watch the Joker trailer, the new one?
I did.
Oh
Yeah, I
yes,
did.
yes.
Okay, so we
yes.
both all watched the trailers.
Yes,
correct.
I'm not participating in no trailer 2024.
No, I was very curious.
They didn't include any tease of like any musical numbers or
What are you talking about? Yes, they did.
Yeah, there was
but we didn't see them singing really.
Oh no, they
no,
didn't.
that's
Yeah,
what I
okay,
mean.
okay.
they had that Elvis Costello "What the World Needs Now"
Right.
song.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So I would say based off the trailer, it's probably looking like kind of as good as the first one did, like going into
Quality
it.
wise, yeah.
Quality wise, right? I'm curious as to how. So Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar for his performance as Joker, right?
Yeah.
And based on what we've seen so far from the trailer, it seems like he's going to be delivering the same quality of performance. It's seemingly right.
Yeah, of course. I think.
And let me get this out.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
I'm curious as to if it is the same exact quality of performance.
Yeah.
Would it be recognized again?
Well, that interesting question. Like,
Since it was done already, would it be done again? And I know it would have to be based on what other movies and performances come out the rest of this year.
Yeah.
would it be as
Lauded.
yeah, I guess so, as the first time?
I think.
Or is it like we've already seen this?
I think. Well, so I'm very curious about what the story is going to be about. However, I think Lady Gaga is probably going to be the star of this movie because from what I saw in that just small trailer, she looked fantastic.
Okay.
So you think she would be the more recognized performance?
I think so.
Out of this sequel,
I think so. I mean, like Joaquin Phoenix is a phenomenal actor, but Lady Gaga, like just based on that trailer alone, looked like she was going to be like the star of the show. Of course, I think she's going to be singing. I'm curious how well, actually, I'll get into that a little bit later. But
later we're talking about it now.
Well, no, about Joaquin Phoenix and his singing. But
okay.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, I think Lady Gaga is going to be the standout performance in that movie.
So you don't think that he will be as recognized as he was? His performance won't be as recognized as the first time.
Yeah, correct. I can't
think of a single person that was nominated for a role as a character and then nominated again for the sequel of the same character.
Ooh, that would be a good list.
But I just looked it up, and Alien, Sigourney Weaver was not nominated, but in Aliens, she was.
Really?
Best actress in a leading role.
She was. I mean, she was phenomenal.
For
on
Aliens,
both
she was
of those.
nominated for an Oscar.
Aliens, yeah.
Really interesting.
She was nominated Best Actress, nominated for Best Art Direction, Set Direction, nominated for Best Sound, nominated for Best Editing, and winner of Best Sound Effects Editing.
Oh wow, yeah. James Cameron, he knows how to pull those strings.
Also won Best Visual Effects and nominated for Best Score for Aliens. Alien, I don't think it was nearly as universally loved.
So what do you think, Pete?
No, I don't think so.
Actually,
You don't think what?
I don't think that even if he does the same performance, it's going to be like what you said. We've seen this before.
Right.
Do something different, which I'm into the idea of this musical because who the fuck needs a sequel for Joker? So just do something weird with it. Do something, go off page.
You know what? Because I meditated on that because at first when I heard it was going to be a musical, I groaned. I was like, God damn it. Like, really? Like, why? Like, it was such a good standalone film. But, like, after watching this trailer, I was very intrigued. I was like, okay. Like, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how this is going to turn out. I don't really like Lady Gaga as an actress.
Have you seen Stars Born?
She's beautiful.
Well, that's relevant.
She's so hot. She's a great actress.
I didn't
Olivia Colman. Ew.
I didn't like her in Stars Born. I actually didn't like that movie that much.
Yeah, that movie kind of sucked.
That movie,
I loved it.
We're going off topic, but like that movie was more Oscar baity than Maestro was to me.
I can see it.
But that's just kind of like Bradley Cooper's directing movies.
Yeah,
it's just like he wants it. You can see it.
Give me that Oscar. I want it.
But it'll be interesting. I've seen some like funny comments on this, and I already seen like watching the trailer. I like thought in my brain how it looked like La La Land. like a lot of like shots and similarities, and then people all of a sudden were making these comparisons, and then you could see the inspirations behind some of the shots in the trailer, and then
the comparison.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because I think the trailer for the Joker 2 movie gave more views to La La Land because on my TikTok feed, like I was getting a lot of La La Land like clips.
And I didn't come up with this, but I thought this was really funny. It's one of the top comments on one of those videos was for Joker 2 was Ha Ha Land.
Indeed.
Ha Ha Land. That's
Great
I wish
stuff, man.
I wish it was Joker 2 Ha Ha Land. I wish that's what it was called.
I think Bruce mentioned he said something about it. He said the umbrellas of Arkham.
Oh, because people have umbrellas.
No, it's like there's umbrellas of Chambord or whatever the name is. It's like a famous French like musical. I've never seen it before.
Oh, I never heard of it.
You never heard of it?
No.
Oh, I don't even know the name of the umbrellas of Chambord.
Chambord.
It's French.
Manborg.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though.
All right, well that's that. My next news story is that we're getting another live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh,
that
okay.
is going to be geared towards adults and R-rated.
Oh, hell yeah.
An R-rated
teenage-
TMNT.
Live action. A live action. Now,
Oh my god.
first question is like, are they going to go the route of the '90s TMNT movies, where
Like really live action?
like the turtles are a lot like live
Yeah.
and not animated?
like they have the costumes and everything. Oh, my God.
Or they're going to do live action like the Disney reboots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit.
And it's coming from Paramount. Paramount, and it's going to be based off of a series, like a graphic novel series called The Last Ronin,
Oh yeah, I read that. It's a good one.
and produced. It will be produced by Walter Hamada and penned by one of the co-writers from Boy Kills World, a new Bill Skarsgård movie coming out later this month. That looks very violent. So I can imagine that this
That's cool.
would also be of that same violent nature.
That's very risky. That's a very risky thing to do.
Listener Steven's going to be loving this. He's a big Turtles fan.
Yeah, I'm kind of like turtles are cool. I was never really a big fan of them, but I always enjoyed watching those '90s live action movies.
Oh, I thought you said that you weren't a fan of the animal turtles.
Who is not? Who doesn't like? Who hates turtles?
Yeah, I know.
it'd be a weird.
Exactly.
It'd be a weird stance to have. I hate them.
That's like
Turtles. Yeah.
first date red flag material.
It's a strange prejudice.
It's like
I
yeah,
can't-
like
they're so slow.
it's like, hey, what do you think about turtles? You could do without them.
Lazy. Don't even get me started on snails.
That's
Snails. Oh, there's some snails outside.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
raining.
Yep.
I'm actually not a snails fan. I don't like snails.
Oh,
They eat my plants.
Well, that's true. They're a pest. But yeah, no, an R-rated TMNT.
I'm down. I'm down with it.
I don't even know what to think.
You read the comic, right?
Yeah,
You
well,
said, isn't that one violent?
it is. It
Okay.
is. But like, just to like, how
Why
do you
do
how do
kids
you
get everything? Why do kids get everything? Teenage
Kids?
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja.
Yeah, give the I'm an adult.
Adult Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes,
I
but
mean, I want to watch the
the-
Teenage Turtles.
they're gonna
Like
they're
a
gonna
creep.
so when they
I
when
gotta
they
go. I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Chucky.
When they when they release the trailer, it has to grab.
Well, they're gonna have a red
it has
band
to-
trailer.
Well, yeah, but it has to grab an audience because I feel like this is such a niche sort of subject matter.
Deadpool meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, I mean,
Oh, I sold Tyler on
There
it
you
already.
go.
count me in.
All right, anything else, Joseph?
No, I mean just expect that. I guess I don't know when that would. It's no release date for that. The most recent
Yeah, just
Turtle
expect that
content
then,
that
I
we've
guess.
gotten.
Exactly.
Is that what? Okay. The most recent Turtle content we got was the Mutant Mayhem, which was definitely more geared towards children.
Super fun.
But that was super fun to watch. But yeah, that's it.
Cool. Awesome. First off, my stories, feel better. Joe Bridges, he's in bed right now, sick. He says, this show is the one to heal me.
Oh,
He actually asked if that was, and now he says, Eagles at the dump. Now we're talking. That's the kind of content I tune into this show for, baby.
I literally do have a picture of a bald eagle.
All right, put it on the Facebook page.
I will. I will. You know what?
You remember the
just-
logins?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, maybe email to text
Email
it.
it.
Email, yeah. Email it to my assistant.
Print it out.
She'll text it to me.
Okay.
Send
Yeah.
a letter.
We'll scan it in.
Wait a minute. You have a PA?
Yeah, that's right. She's downstairs watching or playing The Last of Us too, remake. Okay, cool. So my news story, I have nothing super topical, but I have a message from Jack Fitzpatrick of Let's Crash This Parade YouTube channel. So I'm going to play that right now.
Fitz.
Hey, it's your number one MCFCF. I have a question from abroad for you American guys, and it's that when you're watching like a shitty action movie and there's like an evil terrorist character and they're like, I want to kill the Americans or whatever, do you guys like as Americans get triggered by that? Like, do you fall for that? Because I feel like as a non-American, I do. I get manipulated by it. I'm like, God, this evil guy. They really got to take him down, you know? But like you guys personally as Americans, does it affect you personally in that kind of way? Or are you smarter than that and it's just like, a dumb movie thing?
So
I don't know. Let me know.
okay. Just a thought I had.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay.
So his question is, do we get offended that there's a terrorist trying to kill Americans specifically?
Is it effective? Like, because I think in his mind, it's like...
Is it effective in offending as an American, someone who's not an American trying to kill Americans? Is that the question?
maybe not offending, but like...
I don't mean like I'm offended by
Is it effective? Is the fear
Is it
real?
effective in offending me?
I'll say this. I watched The Rock recently.
Right.
I rewatched the Michael Bay's best movie, in my opinion. And
Not The Island? You like that?
no, the Island's good. I like the Island. I like the Island more than most.
I haven't
but-
seen The Rock, but I love The Island.
You haven't seen.
You
The
haven't
Rock?
seen The Rock?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Why isn't this movie The Town? It's set in San Francisco. There's a great hilly car chase.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage has never been better. Actually, that's not true.
Yeah,
well,
I just
but-
watched Con Air.
Oh, you did?
Well, yeah.
Well, like 3 weeks ago.
So very much in that wheelhouse, but less cheesy.
I always got those movies confused
Yeah, I could
because
see
of
why.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He doesn't say "put down the bunny rabbit." He doesn't say that. He doesn't talk about how his hands are registered weapons.
Yeah.
But he does pretend to be a badass. Well, he's not, which I feel like is what Nicolas Cage really should be doing. Anyways,
Right.
in The Rock, these mercenaries are basically threatening to shoot this gas bomb at San Francisco, and I was thinking, man, that would be absolutely like life changing if that were to happen out here.
Right.
I
Gas bomb?
Yeah, like literally kill like.
I have a gas bomb brewing right now.
350,000 people die in an instant, with one of those, and they got like 6 of them. So, and it's like they're all trained because they're on Alcatraz and they're trained the rockets at San Francisco, and that was effective.
Well, what's their motivation?
You'd have to watch the movie.
No, just tell me.
They're basically trying to bring justice for like their military brethren that were killed in the line of duty, but were basically written off by the government as they never existed. They were giving unceremonious burials and were not given.
Are they Americans attacking Americans?
Yes.
Oh, sounds justified.
Well, you'd have to watch the movie. It's a good movie because you see a little bit of what Ed Harris is like, the leader of the bad guys, what his motivation is, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's
You can
pretty
sympathize.
That's pretty fucked up. Yeah, you can sympathize a little bit. And how far would you go though? Would you kill 300 million or 300,000 people to give justice to like the lives of like 4, mercenary,
Right.
or like Delta Force people that died behind lines of combat and were not given their ceremonial duty? Your family's not given their retirement or whatever.
Yeah, Ed Harris was just basically, I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Pretty much. And the way I'm going to do it is with potentially millions of lives killed.
Yeah,
lost.
genocide.
Okay, well, that's an interesting villain.
Yeah, it is. It's good. And I won't spoil it because I really think it's worth watching with fresh eyes how the villain's intentions changed throughout the runtime of the movie. So
I think that, like, the question... my brain went immediately to True Lies when Jack asked that.
Well, it's because of that offensive racist accent that he did.
Right, yeah.
Right, Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to kill Americans.
Oh, now you're doing it.
Yeah, I see. I'm quoting Jack, who is the racist in this scenario.
Okay.
Just kidding, Jack.
I don't, you know what?
It's your turn to talk.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Joseph was literally in the middle of a sentence.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's your turn.
Well, let's not do this.
Go ahead, do
let's
it.
Not,
You
let's
go.
not. No,
I'll
let's not-
talk after you.
let's
I'm going
not
to do that
this
too
right now.
when Tyler starts interrupting. Say what you need to say. It was very important.
Well, I was just gonna say I don't give a shit. Like it's not. It doesn't affect me or anything like that. Like I don't get triggered or anything. Like if any sort of American hating foreign person wants to kill other Americans, like I just don't care. Like I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, do it. Just
I think
do
at
it.
a certain point in America, and I think it was when this type of movie was being released, and like whenever it came out, people would be more like, yeah, America, because it was so great, right? That was our perceived or the
Place in the world.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was just like these people are attacking America, and America is known as the good guys, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah, from like Jack's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even from Americans' perspective.
Sure.
But when I look at villains, I think that like these villains are doing these things because they don't see themselves as villains. They think that they're doing something. They think they're doing the right thing or the good thing.
Yeah,
right.
makes
The
sense.
just thing.
And it sounds like in The Rock, he sounds like he's doing what he thinks is the right thing or what he thinks is justice.
Yeah.
For his fallen comrades.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Which it makes an interesting feeling. Like Thanos thinks that he's doing a good thing, right?
Sure.
And he's kind of sort of justified in his reasoning, and you sympathize with his character, and his reasoning in these movies. You haven't seen it, so you can't say anything.
I know. I'm just agreeing blindly.
And you're like, that doesn't sound so bad, but then you think half of the population or half of life in the universe,
Where do they go?
they just evaporate, like
Yeah,
vaporize.
but where do they go?
Like
after that?
vaporize.
They're just dead?
Vaporize.
You've seen it, right? That's where
Yes, of course I have.
like what happens when you die. That's what happens.
Yeah. Where do they go?
What do you mean? Where do they go? They just die.
Where do they well,
You're asking a more existential question.
yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
So like a question of like we're just gonna make an action movie and America is the good guys and these terrorists are the bad guys and the plot is like they're bad because they're attacking Americans.
Sure.
That's like a very shallow, just like thinking
So for
of
us,
a story.
and for us, we're on the American side looking at it like they're attacking us, but Jack's on the outside saying, "Oh, they're attacking my friends over there."
Oh yeah,
What if Jack didn't know any Americans?
Wow.
Maybe that's different.
I don't know
Then
because
it
like
would- that's a
What
movie.
about these movies that have
Hey.
that have come out
Jack's in the chat now.
where like they watch a movie like True Lies or any other movie where the terrorist comes from another country and then that country watches that movie.
Are they
What is
rooting-
their perceived?
Maybe they're rooting
What is
for
their
them?
Are they-
Well, I
yeah.
think that goes right into a little bit of the discussion of Civil War because I heard Jason Kleberg and I were talking a little bit about the movie because he also saw it on an advanced screening, and this is Alex Garland's Civil War.
Yeah.
We can go to the three of us since we're going to talk a little bit, but me and Joseph got to see it on an advanced screening this week. Alex Garland's Civil War.
Where was my invite?
It was when you're working. You chose that job. No whining.
And we wouldn't invite you anyway.
Yeah.
You always mention this, and you know why.
Yeah. No offense or anything, but you're terrible to watch movies with, and you know it.
I know, that was the bit. Come on, go along with it.
We just want to open that wound up again. Todd is a sadist.
It hurts.
Yeah. So,
It's so good.
so we saw this Alex Garland's Civil War on Monday, and I heard Kleberg mention a very apt description. He said that the political stance for Civil War felt like the political stance of Top Gun Maverick, where the villain on the other side is you don't know if they're
Faceless.
You don't know who they are.
Uzbekistanian or Russian or Chinese or anything. You don't even get to see them.
Right.
You don't see what color they are. You don't hear what language they're speaking. You don't know nothing about it. You just know those guys bad, us guys good.
Right.
And in this world of Alex Garland's Civil War, I think the hot topic issue that most people were thinking of before the movie came out was, well, whose side is he going to take? Who are the bad guys in this? You know, is it North versus South, and then South is clearly the bad guys because they want slavery?
Right.
Like almost anybody except for fucking idiot losers can agree upon.
Yeah.
Or is it he's going to take the South side and tell it from their perspective or whatever? You know, be devil's advocate. Well, it wasn't that at all.
No, it wasn't.
How do you know?
Well, because I've read reviews on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's very apolitical.
Yes, it is in a way. The way I feel about it is that it doesn't tell you who the bad guys are in relation to our world. They're just people that act like that.
Right.
So, you know, in this world, we basically have, what is it? You have the president who's decided to stay in office for a third term.
Right.
That's the bad guy, you know,
Yeah.
in this scenario. And you're kind of told from that perspective. And it doesn't tell you that at the beginning. It doesn't tell you that in the middle, but you're kind of embedded with these photojournalists and, you know, reporters that are talking about, we're going to go to the Washington, D.C., and we're going to interview the president, who is basically a dictator at this point. He's bombed his own people. He set up like this military government and whatnot. And you're kind of like, but is it justified? Is he staying in office because he's fighting? Because in Ukraine, for example, it's written into their constitution that you can't have elections during wartime because they don't want to change the national like leader in midst of a war. Sure. So basically, Zelensky is in a position where he's now able to stay in office essentially forever until war's over.
Right.
If you were to say that in Russia, say Putin's doing that, it would sound like a really bad thing. Because Putin is clearly a villain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see
so
what
in
you're
this
saying.
scenario of civil war, it's like, well, if they are in war, and let's just say Texas and California decided to secede, and now they are their own country, and they're like, we're going to blow up America. Well, clearly California and Texas, the Western forces in this world, clearly they're the bad guys. But they don't tell you how it started. They don't tell you what each side stands for. You're just in the middle, and it's just humans against humans, and it's all done on American soil.
Yeah.
So, Joseph, what do you quick? I mean, we made a standalone video about this, but give us your thoughts to the listeners that didn't watch the video.
I mean, when I came out of the theater, I was like, let me rewind a little bit. When I went into the theater, I was expecting a movie that would fill me with a sense of dread and like what in a movie like this in this election year in this our current state of political things, this is really gonna ruffle some feathers.
Yeah,
right. But then when I came out of the theater, I was like, I didn't feel that way at all. I didn't feel like it was commenting on anything. I actually think that the movie The Hunt, was more of a movie that was saying more. It's like something more about the political parties, specifically, and that's more of just a comedy action movie.
Yeah.
This one is just like a action kind of thriller movie that is just placed in a world that is similar to ours, but doesn't really draw from our reality that much.
Yeah.
And it's definitely because we're following the press. It's quite literally like a movie about the press and how war is covered and how like war photographers and what the things that they experience as like almost like a third party.
I couldn't even imagine doing that.
And
it seems terrifying.
And I think that it kind of illustrated that point pretty well. And he, like Garland, known for his kind of like messaging, sort of like more like subtle messaging in his previous movies, where you kind of have to like, oh, that means this, or that's a theme about this.
It forces you to think about what he's actually covering.
Whereas this one is just kind of like just presented to you, and it's like as is. Like this is it. There isn't much deeper context to be pulled out of this, other than
it's just a narrative of war photographers. Yeah.
It was good. I think it was good. It was good. It was good. It was effective.
Yeah.
No, I heard this was Garland's best film.
Who'd you hear that from?
No. I mean, I heard that from you too. Like, I've been hearing it all over the internet.
But you know what's funny is that I've heard the exact opposite.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
And I going to the idea, back to the idea where it's like, I can't believe he would make a movie like this before anyone saw it.
Yeah.
But then now people have seen it. It's like, well, it doesn't have a message. What the hell?
Yeah,
what do you want?
You can't please everybody.
It's like it's irresponsible and reckless to release a movie like this during this year. I will not be seeing it. But then the people who do see it, like, but it didn't say anything. It had no message.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Bunch of whiners.
But to answer Jack's question, well, thank you for the message. Very much appreciated. But yeah, I don't give a shit.
Tyler doesn't care about anything, actually.
I don't. I'm very apathetic.
Especially being on time. That's for sure.
Oh, okay. We're not going to get into that.
30 minutes late.
Yeah, I know.
30 minutes late. You're trying for a return.
Yeah.
But I think that one of the biggest things that I took away from Civil War, besides the fact that it was intense percussive audio that just really blew me away, stark imagery that I didn't expect. I mean, I don't know why I didn't expect to see from Garland, but he's used to doing the sci-fi stuff, and it's not a fantasy bit to be found anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
No fantasy, no sci-fi, no nothing.
Yeah.
But taking the feeling of a classic war movie or of a classic war scenario and putting that in the United States and changing almost nothing, bartering with different, currency. At one point, they barter with Canadian currency because the United States dollar's worth shit. It's not worth anything.
Oh no!
And you're like, they don't comment on it besides just that one scene, but that's enough for you to put you in a place of this is how far gone the United States have gone. There's like fuel rations that are mentioned and things like that.
Yeah.
The idea of you don't know who the guy next to you that you're walking down the street with is on the opposite side or your side because you speak the same language, you look the same, you're from the same place. There's even at one point where a guy is talking about someone he's basically torturing, and he's like, I know this guy. We went to high school together.
God damn!
It's a shame. Had to get him because he's looting.
I gotta watch this.
It's really impactful, but the thing that the biggest kind of like parallel that I have is I was listening to I can't remember if it was a podcast or a show or what it was, but it was essentially like a black woman, and she was talking and said, well, sometimes my white friends will say something a little culturally insensitive, and I kind of check them on it. I'm like, that's kind of racist what you're saying. I know you don't think it, but that is. I'm like, oh, okay, well, teach me. And she says, it's not my job to teach you how to be racially sensitive. Why don't you learn on your own? Why do I have to go out of my way because I'm the black person to teach you not to be racially insensitive or whatever, in that sense?
She could be she could be the Sherpa though.
She could, but why is it her responsibility?
Yeah.
Why can't you, if you really want to know,
why can't you just know?
Just go out of your way to say, specifically, it's like, I don't want to be the teacher. Like, that person doesn't want to be the teacher all the fucking time.
Yeah, you just have to meditate on it. And when someone calls you out and you're just like,
Yeah, or just say, my bad. And you like, that's the learning. You don't need to learn this lesson from this person and be like, hey, my one black friend, can you teach me about racism? It's like, so in this regard, the parallel to that is like, why does Alex Garland have to spell it out for you fucking people?
Yeah.
Watch the movie, infer what you want. The person who's in the third term of the White House, that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Who does he remind you of? Then figure it out. I don't need to fucking spell it out. I don't need to draw A to B in this scenario.
Yeah.
The heroism of the harrowing nature of the movie is that they're in war, and it's in Pittsburgh, and it's in Ohio, and it's in Virginia, and Texas, and Washington D.C. It's not in Islamabad and Tehran, and it's not in places all over the world. It's here amongst us, and how quickly. If you say, oh, well, that's the bad guy. That's the guy on the other side. I believe I'm on this side of this political spectrum. The guy in the White House is on the other side of the political spectrum. Clearly it's them. Well, maybe it wasn't, If you think that your side, political side, quote unquote, can't do what the other side is doing, you're fucking lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln was a Republican.
Yeah,
he freed the slaves. At some point, there was this political slide. And it crossed in the middle, and it could happen again one day.
Around.
The far left is just as fucked up as the far right. Maybe not just as fucked up, but there's some very bad things on both sides of the political spectrum, and the grayness somewhere in the middle, the understanding that the other people. I think that I felt that very strongly when watching this movie. On top of the shocking nature of just how intense it fucking is.
The movie exists. Like outside of that spectrum,
correct? Yeah,
and it's like looking at it, sort of from a higher viewpoint.
Yeah, so I loved it.
I'll
have to rewatch it to determine if it really is like my favorite Garland movie, but it feels like his biggest. It's the most exciting. It's the largest scale.
Yeah,
it's definitely more exciting than like it's hard to say. But it's like I always want to include Dredd into his.
It's about as exciting as Dredd.
Yeah.
It's gone on that level where there's a lot of like action-packed set pieces, and you get to the next one and you're like, holy shit, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So before we move on, just real quickly, I'm going to read listener Steven's review because he wrote in and he watched Civil War as well. He says, hey gang, just got out of Civil War, beautifully shot, the sound was great, the intense scenes really had me holding my breath. I didn't care about any of the characters, the plot was basic. I'm getting tired of movies having a safe characters. 3 out of 5 strictly for the cinematic experience of sight and sound. And I've heard that very similar review from a lot of people. So
kind of feels like a scathing review.
It's weird. A lot of people are coming down on it and like it's a great looking movie and the experience was exciting, but without the message there, they're not finding that like extra oomph to get it to the great level. It's just good.
Okay.
Well, they're just like looking too hard.
Yeah.
When it's like you don't have to look that hard.
Binge Movies did a immediate reaction review about it and had some really great insight about it. Spent the whole time giving a really glowing review, and then ultimately it came down 3.5 stars. Wow. And I was like, wow. And it's kind of interesting how that is. So it's a very phenomena-centric movie. I think we're going to be talking about this for a while.
It's like polarizing in a different way.
Yeah.
In just like how it presented, I guess, the story as opposed to the story itself.
Yeah. And I will say the story is the weakest part because what happens, the death near the end is telegraphed pretty much from the whole time, and you know what's going to happen. And when it does, got to say, pretty cheesy. Pretty cheesy. The actual death. I was like, really? It's just...
yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, it's
definitely one more take.
Definitely foreshadowed.
Yeah. So, anything you want to say about Civil War before we move on?
Yeah, still Alex Garland's best movie. I'm not like the biggest Garland fan, but it's his best movie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now it's time for some stream picks.
Movies.
Wanna watch a movie?
Yes, I do.
Disney Plus, HBO Max.
If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the pick.
Stream picks. Movies that we watch this week on our streaming services that you can watch too. Tyler, lead us off.
So we were mentioning about Joaquin Phoenix's singing abilities.
Okay.
And with that being said, I watched 2005's Walk the Line.
Oh, very cool. Very good.
That's streaming on HBO Max. I hadn't seen it in a very long time. Like it had been like possibly a decade since I saw it. And it is just a fantastic movie. Everything just like the way like the filter looks like on the it just looks like an old what? What?
Finish your review.
Huh?
I'm counting likes over here.
Okay.
Who was it that wrote in? It was Gossip Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Gossip Girl's spinning in her grave right now.
Still alive, I think.
Well, we haven't heard from her in a while. Who knows?
Well, anyways, everyone knows what Walk the Line movie is about. It's about the rise of Johnny Cash. And you know what inspired me to watch this movie again was because there was been a lot of Johnny Cash playing on the radio recently. I don't know why. I don't know if there's some sort of
it's anniversary of his death or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've been hearing a lot of Johnny Cash, and I remember getting off of work and I was thinking, you know what? I think I'm gonna watch. I didn't even know it was streaming on HBO Max, but I went on my computer and looked up Walk the Line, and sure enough, it was streaming on Max, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, awesome!" And I think Joaquin Phoenix, he doesn't. The strange part is that he doesn't look like Johnny Cash, and I know when you're doing a biopic, you're not gonna get someone
close enough.
Yeah, no, not really.
Well, Austin Butler didn't look like Elvis, but...
Well, yeah, but Joaquin Phoenix, he wasn't loaded up on speed, so he didn't have that...
It's called acting. It's acting. Acting boy.
Yeah. And, it's a beautifully shot movie. The beginning of the movie is incredibly shocking. I haven't
seen it in a long time.
I've seen it, yeah. It's good.
So,
Very good.
because the buzzsaw scene.
Talk to us as if we're the audience that you're talking into the mic.
I'm 5 years old.
Because they don't know.
Okay, so, Johnny Cash, he experienced a tragedy. His brother was buzzsawed to death.
They put it on his headstone.
Yeah.
Here lies Joseph, or cut in half, buzzsawed to death.
And
sorry, Joseph.
But they actually show the death scene and him walking in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
what a thing to walk in on.
I know, right?
What was he doing?
I think
buzzes.
I think it he one of his shirts got caught or something, and
he's just working in the workshop.
Yeah, he was just working. I think it was a barn or something. But his father resented him and blamed Johnny for his brother's death.
Uh-huh.
And then that's how he started getting into country music. And he wanted to get into music, and he was doing the traditional sort of country music that was on the radio, thinking that would make him some scratch.
Mm-hmm.
But like the producer of like some random record company was like, yeah, no, we already have all that. Like, yeah. And then they give him another chance, and then he starts playing the Walk the Line song, and then everyone kind of perks up. And they're like, oh, we haven't heard this before. It's kind of like the precursor to punk rock, essentially. And so it doesn't, it kind of lulls a little bit. But I think what really brings you in is Joaquin Phoenix's acting.
How's his singing though?
His singing is spot on.
Does he sing?
Yeah, he
Pretty
does.
sure.
Yeah, he does. He actually had to practice. He practiced for like several months with like a singing coach to get that Johnny Cash like sound. And I mean, it's kind of like reminiscent to like Jamie Foxx's singing too, like with Ray. It's like in that same vein. I think Ray came out like pretty close to Walk the Line. But I think Walk the Line, like, it just has, like, really good cinematography. Like, it really feels like you're in Arkansas, like, in the beginning of the movie. Like, there's, like, that, like, hot, like, barren land.
Ray came out the year before Walk the Line.
Oh, okay. So, well...
Still around the same time.
Yeah, in the heyday of music biopics.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think both films are great, too. I think Jamie Foxx just killed it. Although I think that they should have hired a blind man, but you know
why?
Well, because he was blind.
So
yeah,
it's called acting.
It's called acting. You know, he wore contacts, so he couldn't see.
Is that right? He did. I had no idea.
Yeah, he wore contacts when he was filming.
Interesting.
Wow, that's dedication.
Now that's acting.
Now
you guys heard of this thing? Acting. You can just play someone else.
Yeah. I have a greater respect for Jamie Foxx for doing that. But
right. Anything else, Tyler?
Well,
okay, it's a show. Is it a show you're going to talk about right now? Is it? Is it True Detective season 1? Are you gonna? Was that going to be what you're going to say?
It. That's it.
Say what you're going to say, so we can make fun of you.
Well, I've been watching True Detective season 3. No, God damn it! I knew it.
Season 3.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, it's a great show. Check it out, class.
Get muted, noob.
Check it out. It's really great. It's about a detective with Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, huh?
Yeah, the Mahershala Ali,
all-time great
detective.
Yeah, great stuff. But yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, Joseph, what do you have for streaming picks?
Well, before we get into that, great streaming pick, Walk the Line, great. I'm glad that you brought something different to the show.
Exciting.
But I want to go back to the days of when you were stream picking movies, like The Greasy Strangler. Like, we had a whole saga of The Greasy Strangler. When's the next?
Yeah, when's the next good?
When's the next gem?
Like
that
weird movie
you're gonna bring to us?
Instead of like, I watched Transformers 3 and it was better than I remember.
I watched Raiders again.
Yeah,
I watched Donnie Darko again, or The Matrix.
Yeah, give us some zhuzh up this podcast.
All right,
we interviewed Michael St. Michaels.
Yeah,
and we wouldn't know about him if you didn't bring Greasy Strangler.
That's right.
He had some health issues recently. He's okay now.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
But
Art.
but we have that.
Yeah.
Forever etched in our hard drive.
I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
In the memory of the Greasy Strangler. Having to go through the Greasy Strangler.
I will go through. my Amazon Prime and I'll see what I can find.
You know, don't force it. You know, that came
that
came naturally.
I know. I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force it.
We also have used to have some conspiracies.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Tyler's hot takes back in the day.
Well,
Tyler's Rage.
Yeah.
We haven't had Tyler's Rage in a while.
Well, yeah. You know what? Like, I got a lot of work to do. I took a day off to watch this movie.
That's what we want. That rage. All right, Joseph, what do you got?
Okay, I have a couple. I have an eclectic group of movies here.
Okay.
The biggest surprise movie that I actually was not expecting to be as good as it was Aronofsky's Noah.
Ooh, that movie fucks.
Isn't that with Russell Crowe?
Yes, it is, and starring as Noah. And this was way better than I feel like it had any.
It's crazy.
It's like an action movie, and it takes place in a different version of like the Bible because they don't refer to God as God; they refer to him as the Creator.
Yeah, back then that way they didn't have a word for it.
And the story of this starts as like Adam and Eve had birthed Cain, Abel, and Seth, a third brother who I'd never heard of.
Seth?
And then so Cain kills Abel, like in the original story, and
The Rock.
And then Cain starts his own empire of like debauchery and pillaging and stuff like that. And then Seth births Noah, Noah's a descendant of Seth. He's not a direct like son of Seth, but so there's like two sides here. There's like the Cains, and then you have the Seths.
Yeah.
Right. And Noah is of the Seths, and the Cains are the bad guys in this universe.
Okay.
And the spectacle in this movie is insane. It's like
It's chaos.
it's a lot of magic going on. They're like wizards.
Yeah.
And Noah has a mission. He's on a mission from God, literally. He's told that he has to. There's going to be the flood, and has to build the ark and everything. And Anthony Hopkins plays his grandfather,
Methuselah,
who lives in a mountain.
Yeah.
And he's like trapped there. It feels like he's just kind of like cursed to be there.
It's like exiled or something.
And it turns into like Noah slowly turns into kind of like a crazy guy where his family, he seems like he's doing all these things because of the Creator, and he's making these choices because of the Creator, and they're like not. His family looks at the choices that he's making. He's like, "What are you doing? Like that's not a good thing that you're doing."
It's a very frailty scenario.
Yeah. It's like, but it's like, it's more obviously true. Like you know it as a viewer because like we're in this universe.
Yeah, you see it all, the truth.
Yeah, and a lot of really cool visuals. I mean, you can expect from an Aronofsky movie where like they live. They're like camped out in this like barren wasteland, like a black desert, right? And then he's like, "You need to build the ark." And then once that happens, this like water. I think it like this water comes from the ground, like just sprouts from the ground like a fountain, and then all of a sudden these like a forest is just like sprouts in the ground like instantaneously.
Oh, whoa!
To like provide the wood that he's going to use to build the ark.
Okay.
And it takes place over a period of like years. Like he ages as he's building the ark, and there are these like fallen angels from heaven, I guess, and who are being punished by the Creator, and they fall into like this mud, and they're like caked in rock, and they're just like these giant,
like golems,
like giant, just like rock monsters, like from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
And Noah like talks to them and then gets them to help him build the ark. And then all of a sudden, like at one point, all the animals just show up.
They just show
They
up.
literally just like are like all of them, all the species of all the land animals are there.
I would have liked it like a show like of Noah like trying to corral like lions and stuff.
They just come willingly.
Yeah,
They
you
just,
don't have to.
They're just like
They're just there.
They're just like they are like hypnotized or something.
We're there.
They're just like they walk into the ark and they're all just like sleeping together. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
But Ray Winstone plays the main villain of the Cains, and this was super. It got super brutal. Honestly, it got very brutal towards the end of the movie.
Like in terms of like human on human violence, or
because Noah has to essentially just keep only his family and the animals on the ark, and his family's like, why don't you like help the people who are drowning out there? And you hear them like screaming, crying outside, and he's like, I can't do it.
They're like beating on the side of the ark, you know.
Yes, and like
that's chilling.
There's a point where Noah's like, we are the last humans. Like, we are going to be the last humans. And the youngest brother, he tells the youngest son, he's like, you will be the last man on earth. And there's like a twist that happens. I don't know if I mean, I don't care about spoiling it, but
well, then just say it.
There's a point where in the story, they find this young girl, like in her village everybody was killed in her village, and she was the only survivor, and so they kind of adopted her.
Emma Watson.
And she grows up to be Emma Watson.
Ela.
So like she's just like being raised by this family, and then at one point, her and one of the brothers kind of fall in love, and they start a family.
Oh, so they're trying to subvert the incestual sort of vibe that this story.
I guess so,
portrays
like the biblical stories.
Yeah.
No matter what, there is going to be incest at some point.
I'm about to have the hardest boner right now.
Now that's subtle incest, baby.
So that happens, and Noah doesn't know. And then once he finds out, he's like, "What did you do? You defied the creator. Now you've ruined everything." And he tells her, he says, "If it's born a girl, I'm going to kill her." That's what he says.
Okay.
If it's born a boy, then he will be the last man on earth. The logic was weird because it was like if you bore a girl, she can grow up to be a mother. I'm like, well, how she can only grow up to be a mother if she becomes pregnant,
Right?
But she could.
but by who?
Any of them.
Any of them?
Yeah.
It's,
Why not?
So
We'll just run
they're
a train
insinuating
on her.
that
They'll
one of us is gonna fuck her.
Yeah. They'll just run a train.
I guess so. But
Well,
yeah,
Tyler,
they'll see what
Don't say it. We're not that kind of show.
they'll see what sticks.
Don't tell
Consider
you.
me a route.
Tyler, gross.
but yeah, it's but that means saying that to your daughter, and then like at the beginning of her gestation, it's like we're waiting 9 months. She's getting more and more pregnant, and then it just cuts to she's like 8 months pregnant, and then everybody's on edge. They're getting ready to like leave ship. They like build this raft, and
Because he doesn't want Noah to kill this baby, basically.
Yeah.
And he looks crazy. He looks fucking crazy at the end at this point in the movie.
This is the start of Crazy Crow's career.
But yeah, this movie was like surprisingly good.
Where's this streaming at?
It's streaming on Netflix, Peacock, Paramount Plus, and Pluto TV.
I gotta say, when I saw this for the first time, watched it a couple years ago the first time, it made me long for an entire subgenre of like Bible sci-fi.
Alternate Bible movies.
Well, it's like most of the stories in the Bible are fucking insane in the Old Testament.
Yes,
New
they
Testament,
are.
they tone it down in the New Testament. The
Tone it down.
Old Testament, God just like, yeah, I'll kill all the babies. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Those,
Yeah,
I'll kill those.
Fuck
Yeah.
those babies.
Yeah, God's like,
smoking a cigarette now. I'll kill that bitch.
that's God.
Yeah.
No, it's like God tells his armies, go invade that nation over there, and if any man is any woman under the age of 12 or something like that, kill them. All the children, kill them. Take all the women as slaves, kill the men.
Yeah.
And it's like that's just God's orders.
He was turning people into pillars of salt.
That's the least of his. That's the least of his sins at that point. So yeah, very cool, awesome.
Very like. Has your dad seen this movie?
I don't know.
I wonder what he would think about it.
I'll ask him.
He's a bibliophile.
Yeah. He's a man of God.
Yeah. So that's Noah streaming on a lot of places, Netflix. But okay, my next one, I caught up with Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
it's a pretty funny movie.
Yeah, funnier than I thought.
I at first when I heard that this was like a troupe on like a new
Saturday Night Live,
Lonely Island.
Yeah.
I was like, they're just trying to do that thing. They're just trying to be like good neighbor stuff, or they're just like it just felt like they were trying to
rip
be
off
that
somebody.
new thing. But this movie was pretty funny. It was pretty good. Conan as the dad of one of them, he was good. I mean, he's not in it that much, but he was pretty funny. That's streaming on Peacock now.
Yeah, yeah. It's an NBC property.
Yeah, definitely check that out.
Do you like the whole TikTok algorithm?
Oh yeah,
bit?
I gotta reset my. I
don't know,
reinstall the app.
Yeah, what do I delete the app and reinstall it? Keep showing them animals fucking.
I caught up with Dix.
Oh,
the musical.
Wow.
I put myself through it, and
I like how you describe it. You put yourself.
I put myself through it because
once you experience it, Tyler, you'll understand.
It's a short movie, luckily, thank God.
Luckily,
streaming on Max, and there's some funny stuff in the movie. I understand what you meant now. It's like the last part of it is like an affront to God. And it's funny enough that the God is in the movie.
Yeah, in that scene too.
The last musical number.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'll say. But there's some funny stuff in this movie, but it's just surrounded by the music is not great, and a lot of the jokes scream that they're a joke.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a joke. Laugh.
Isn't this funny?
Yeah. But it's there's some funny stuff in it. But I gave it a 1 out of 5.
Oh, jeez.
I gave it 2 stars with a heart.
Because I don't think I'll be watching this again.
How'd you like the Sewer Boys?
It was just so random.
I know.
And I like the theme of like, what, they look so fake and shitty. Like,
Yeah, that
I
was
like
pretty good.
with the wigs, and then the they're not marionettes, but they're like, you can tell they're being operated by like a strings.
Yeah, they're on sticks is what it is.
Because they're just like, they're moved like this. They have no like, they don't move, their limbs don't move independently.
There's no articulation.
They're just like stick, and they're just like this for the most part.
Tom Kenny voiced Backpack.
Oh yeah. Which is, I like the idea of 2 gay guys playing straight guys, and they're playing it like as straight as possible, like trying to be the most straight
Yeah, that's
dudes
funny.
ever. Like they're just banging chicks, and they're talking about their big dicks, and
As you know, straight guys do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we do it all the time. So yeah, do or don't watch that. It just you've been warned twice now.
It's one of the more offensive movies ever released.
Yeah.
But funny.
I think Megan Mullally was the most obnoxious.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah.
whole thing. The whole vagina falling off thing was really dumb.
My pussy fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I caught up with X and Pearl, both
nice.
streaming on Paramount Plus or Apple TV. I can't remember because I
It's been on
watched
Paramount.
Yeah, I watched them both through Apple TV. And they're both of, I think, the same quality of movie, which is that they're pretty good. X felt like Boogie Nights meets Texas Chainsaw.
Good call.
And then Pearl is the prequel to X, where you're following the old woman who lives on that farm from X.
Yeah.
And her kind of like story, which feels a little bit. The themes are similar, where it's like to X, where you have Maxine, who's like, people are gonna know my name, like I want to be famous.
Yeah.
Oh, so X is like when she's I can't remember the actress's name,
Mia
but she's
Goth.
the young. Yeah.
Pearl is when she's young.
Pearl's when she's young.
Pearl's when she's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X is the sequel to Pearl, essentially.
Okay.
And Maxine, we don't know where that falls at this point.
I think that will fall after X.
It has to. Like it's her reincarnate or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Her
Plus, isn't there like
spiritual
3
and-
X's in the title?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, it
I
can be,
think
like,
that-
Because she's a porn star. That's why.
Yeah, and she's a porn star in X, so I think it's just the same character.
Yeah.
Because the X takes place in the 70s.
But does Mia Goth play a young person in X?
Yes.
She's in it too. It's been a while. I saw that one first before Pearl. I like Pearl a lot more. Technically, I think it was better performances, but less fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Their X is more of like a horror movie, I guess, slasher movie.
Straight ahead slasher, yeah.
Pearl is just like a sad story about this girl who ends up
Psychological.
who gets pushed to her limits and ends up doing terrible things.
Yeah.
But they're both enjoyable. You could watch them in any order, I think. I mean, I thought about starting with Pearl and then going to X, but it really doesn't matter too much because like the stories don't really
They
matter.
don't interact with
They
each other.
don't. They don't.
It's just
they're
the
not. There's no correlation. It's just
Because her character, Pearl's character in X, is, I guess, her backstory is irrelevant to the story of X.
Correct.
okay.
Other than like you have a little bit more context. It's like, I was like you once, and she's talking to Mia Goth, which is essentially herself, kind of.
like you want.
It's the same actress, so just an old makeup. So yeah, those are streaming on Paramount Plus, and I caught up with Baby Driver, Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. Never seen it before, so
cool.
I watched it last night. And damn it, Spacey, fucking asshole! Why did you have to do those terrible things and
Taint that movie.
because he's good in this movie.
He's good,
He is good in this movie, and I mean everybody's pretty good. Jamie Foxx was surprising in this movie, and what happens in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, super entertaining. I mean, great music and all around just super fun movie.
John Hamm, solid.
It was interesting to see him in that kind of role. To
Yeah.
see him in like a bad guy role.
Yeah.
I was expecting John Bernthal to be in it more.
Me too. It's a bummer. First act only.
But
First heist only.
But I guess it makes sense because Spacey's character is like, I never use the same crew twice.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that like they kind of cycle through.
Flea's good in it also.
Yeah, he's in one small. He doesn't have any lines, does he?
A little bit. You idiot, Michael Myers, you fucking idiot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Michael Myers, Halloween mask. This is a Halloween mask.
Also, a very small cameo by Paul Williams of Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh yeah,
The arms dealer.
yeah.
Pork vendor.
Violent, very violent.
Yeah.
More violent than I thought it was going to be, but it was very fun movie. And
It's on Netflix, right?
Yes, that is on Netflix, and that is it.
Great. Okay, cool. Good mix of movies there. My streaming picks for the week. I'm doing a rewatch of the Lethal Weapon series. Lethal Weapon 2 is not streaming anywhere, but can you play the ass clip? Do you have it on there?
Ass? Oh.
Yeah, the one from Lethal Weapon.
I don't have it.
You don't put it on there?
It's not on here.
Okay.
Here, just talking.
Yeah, so it's I'm going back through the original Lethal Weapon is one of my favorites, like action buddy cop movies of all time. It's so fucking good. I rewatched it.
Oh, I should revisit Merton Riggs' adventures.
Yeah, it's very good. But this clip is this little sound drop is from part 2.
You stick around here, I'm gonna fuck your ass.
Mel Gibson.
Is that Gibson saying
It's
that?
Mel Gibson, yeah.
on an unrelated...
He's also racist in this against Africans.
Well, I mean,
South Africans.
it tracks.
The white ones.
It tracks because I actually listened to the Mel Gibson tapes recently.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's unhinged.
Unhinged.
Are these like the voicemails or something?
Yeah.
I wish we could listen to them on the show. And we could
that's for your show. You could play that druck on your show.
Let's analyze this.
Drek. Okay, so anyways, yeah, that's not streaming anywhere, so I'm not going to talk about it. I just thought that was a really weird drop. I'm also rewatching Child's Play series right now. I'm watching the whole series. We're going to do a mega podcast guest spot on the Film Effect, where we're going to talk about the entire series for the upcoming new season of the Chucky movie or Chucky show. Mm-hmm. And there's another drop I have on there that came from Chucky himself.
I gotta go. I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
I'm like, is Tyler's in this movie?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't put that on me.
Child's Play is streaming, though. So you can
That's from the first one?
That's from the first one, yeah. So you can stream Child's Play on Fubo, Hoopla, MGM Plus, Pluto, Roku, and Tubi.
MGM has a streaming service?
MGM Plus, yeah.
Jeez.
They don't have to have plus in the title.
I know. LGBTQ Plus.
Yeah.
My favorite streaming service.
It's a good one.
So Child's Play is actually pretty fun. It's pretty good. Rewatching the series. None of the rest of them are streaming, so I'm not going to talk about that. I ended up buying the 7-movie set on DVD because it was cheaper than renting each individual movie.
Wait a minute, on DVD?
Yeah.
On dub video dub.
Digital video disc.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't want to spend any more money than I had to on those terrible movies. So.
First one, I mean, those movies were definitely scarier as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was terrified.
So far, number 2 is my favorite, and it's way more intense. There's like melted Chucky face, looks like a Terminator near
That's
the
the one
end.
where he's at the foster parents. Right?
Yes.
And so it's like a mansion that they live in.
Yeah, and then the third one is military school.
Oh,
That's the one.
interesting.
That's the one that I think scared me the most as a kid.
I only saw the first one.
Weak. Number 3, weak sauce. One of the kills, he doesn't even kill the guy. He just has a heart attack. He doesn't even take the opportunity to stab him afterwards.
The second one is he goes to school, right?
Yeah.
And he kills the teacher with a ruler.
Yeah, it's the woman from
Or yardstick, I should say.
It's the one. It's the lady from Donnie Darko that says, "I don't believe your commitment to sparkle motion."
Oh, her.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
mist.
Same actress. Yeah.
Yeah.
The religious fanatic.
Yeah, she's her death is great in that one in number 2. But anyways, so next up, I watched David O. Russell's The Fighter, starring Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale.
I watched that a few
Adams.
weeks ago.
Fighter. That's is that the UFC one?
That's called Warrior.
Oh, Warrior.
This is the one about Dickie. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, I just watched this like a month ago.
Yeah, and when I first saw this movie, this is from 2010, and it's streaming on, let's see here, Fubo, MGM Plus, Paramount Plus. I watched it on Paramount Plus, and when I saw this when it first came out, I was in love with this movie. I thought it was so freaking good. And I think I was just kind of bewitched by Christian Bale's amazing performance.
Right.
Because he lost a ton of weight for it, a la The Machinist, not quite as much, but real gangly. He plays a crackhead. And man, he's believable. He was believable. There's this shithead Boston crackhead. And everybody else in it, well, his mom also does a pretty good job, but I didn't, rewatching it, I didn't particularly care for Amy Adams' performance. She was fine.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
low point.
the juxtaposition between Christian Bale's acting and Mark Wahlberg's acting has never been more of a stark contrast.
Yeah.
In any movie, I would venture to say.
I can imagine.
It's like his emotional range goes from anywhere from, mildly upset to kind of happy. That's it. That's the range. And Christian Bale is like giving a knockdown, all-time performance,
Quote unquote knockout performance.
Yeah, he's so fucking unlikable in Christian Bale in this.
Yeah.
So great supporting cast in this. Conan O'Brien's sister plays one of the sisters as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Watch One of the Seven Sisters.
Oh.
You can pick her out the second you realize it.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, you watch her, you're like, oh, that's Conan O'Brien with the wig on. So yeah, 4.5 star movie when I first watched it. It's like 3.5 now.
Yeah.
Still good, but like the bloom is off the rose, I think, with that one.
Yeah, good, not great.
It didn't hit me that well. I mean, Christian Bale was the best part easily.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I revisited One Cut of the Dead, which I will not spend any time talking about. We just watched. We had some friends over and we watched it. And they're horror. One of them, Steven's a horror fan and a movie fan in general. And we watched it, and he had a blast. And it's one of these movies I love showing people for the first time because it has so many twists and turns to it. The first 25 minutes, you're like, the fuck is this movie? Why are we watching this movie? Or like, I can respect a low budget movie, and then the next layer unravels, and the next layer unravels, and by the end, the third act is one of the greatest third acts reveals and fun and action and all this. It's so fun. So that's streaming on AMC Plus and Shudder. If you've been on the fence about watching One Cut of the Dead, go watch it now, and do not read anything into it. All you need to know is it's a zombie movie within a zombie movie, and that doesn't spoil anything. Okay. I watched a terrible movie that I heard was terrible, and I watched it.
And I still watched it.
And it was terrible. I actually didn't even finish the last 15 minutes, and I never will.
Wow.
This is called Night Swim. That's streaming right now on Peacock. This is a Blumhouse movie, and boy, I feel embarrassed ever having enjoyed a Blumhouse movie after watching this. It's so lame.
Oh, now I'm really depressed.
It's so lame. The plot is that the people move into a house and it's got a killer swimming pool. That's it. That's
So
the
they
plot.
jump in the
The
pool,
pool
and they
kills
die.
them?
Yeah, there's a little bit more to it like that. Like there's an ancient ancestral like Native American
Poltergeist.
burial ground.
But
It's
worse.
a poltergeist, but with a pool.
And the stream water went from the
Is it an
from the
in-ground
stream.
pool?
Yeah, it is into the pool, and that's where the magic happens.
That's where the
Okay.
And
magic happens.
it's kind of like Lights Out, where you turn the light off and you see someone, and then you turn the light on, it's gone. It's kind of like that, except for you're under the water and you see somebody above the water, and then you come out and they're not there.
I like the concept. It just
Do you?
If you like this movie, then you can go straight to hell.
Exactly.
Okay. Well,
Exactly.
I already know I am, so
I
don't have to
imagine
worry about that.
From the outside, I thought it was going to be a movie that plays on your fears of like
Like a shark being in a pool.
shark and being in the pool.
Yeah.
I've never had that fear. It's strange. It's a strange
It's
fear to me.
a child's fear.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Brianna's still afraid of that.
In a chlorinated pool, there's a great white
I know.
hunting
It's scary,
children.
especially when you're swimming alone.
Yeah. Swimming alone at night is its own like reward. It's its own like great experience.
Is it?
Yeah.
And for a movie, I like it. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great.
For a movie that's called Night Swim, not a whole lot of swimming at night. Mostly during the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
night swim. Why is there day here?
I know. I mean, like 75% of the time they're in the pool. It's during the day.
Yeah.
So Wyatt Russell's serviceable in this. It's probably his,
Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell's the lead in it, and it heals you. Also, he's got like
Heals you.
Yeah, he's a professional baseball player that had to basically take leave because he's injured.
Yeah.
It's like the fountain of youth.
And it basically is a fountain of youth. Yeah, and it heals him. But when it heals you, it kills someone you love.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's really bad.
What?
It's shitty.
All right.
So
Get this.
yeah,
It's a pool. It's like stepping on a crack, breaking your mother's back.
Yeah.
But it's a pool, and you're the fool that gets in the pool and it will kill someone else.
And it's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's exactly it. That was on the poster, actually. So
You got a regular MF Doom here.
it's not like a one MF Doom, the rapper.
Who's that?
The late rapper. He's great.
Oh.
It's not like a 0-star movie. It's like a 2. Because it still looks decent, and there's like a couple jump scares that are okay and stuff, but it's just so boring. Nothing happens.
Yeah, it sounds like a boring. It sounds like it could have been.
Pool.
It sounds like it could have been like a really good short film instead of.
It was a short.
Oh, it was a short.
Yeah, it's just like Lights Out. It's
It
literally
stayed there.
I know. So yeah, that sucks. Streaming on Peacock. Don't watch
Yeah,
that.
that sucks. But how is that a streaming pick?
I'm doing a service to the audience.
Oh, okay.
Don't waste your time. It's just boring.
Yeah. Okay.
And then lastly, I watched a big name movie that just came out on streaming called The Zone of Interest.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched it. Yeah. Jonathan Glazer is the director.
Yeah, I've been hearing
He's
a lot
the
of
writer,
buzz about that.
The writer-director of Under the Skin, Birth, Sexy Beast, and what was the other one he did? I can't remember now. off the
Makes
top
a
of my
movie
head.
every 10 years.
Yeah, he's elusive. He's like that, like the spotted snow leopard that only one person's ever seen.
He's very aloof.
Yeah, not aloof. Aloof means he doesn't care.
Oh,
Aloof
or
is like
as unaware.
casual or unaware. Yeah.
Oh.
But this is streaming on Max right now, and basically the plot of it is that it follows the day-to-day life of a commandant in the Hitler's SS army, and he is him and his wife and their 4 children and a newborn all live in this house that shares a wall with Auschwitz concentration camp. So he works at the camp. He's like he runs the entire concentration camp. He's the one that basically built it from scratch and implemented all the death camps and implemented this. And it even shows it in one scene. He's meeting with a contractor about building a new, more efficient oven that can kill people faster.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because it's like, have you ever heard the phrase "the banality of evil"? Or I think it's
I think that's what.
I think
the
it is the banality,
of evil.
and it's like you think that the villain in a movie is like Dr. Evil hiding in a cave that's sculpted like a skull or something like that, and he's got this secret lair and stuff. But in all reality, it's just these basically bureaucratic evil people, and they're just like, well, if we were to build a turntable device on here, then we can be shoveling out the ashes of the remains. While new ones are coming in, it's resetting the room twice as fast. And there's that's just one scene of him meeting with the contractors about this more efficient oven.
It's like a very sociopathic take on evil, which I find interesting.
Sociopathic take? I mean, all the evil's sociopathic, but it's more like it shows just how boring it is. And the point of the movie is the movie can seem boring because you don't ever see any of the atrocities, but you hear them. So Bruce recommended that we watch, if you're going to watch this, watch it with headphones on.
Okay.
Which I did, and I think it's almost necessary.
What was this movie called again?
The Zone of Interest.
The Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
It was up for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
And he won for Best Foreign Feature.
Is that this one for Best Foreign Feature? Oh, yeah, you're right, because he made that
speech.
Speech that people were pissed off about.
Bruce messaged me, and I told him I would watch it this week, and I didn't, but...
Bastard. You bastard.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I do really want to watch it because I've been talking to a couple other people about it, and just I know how it's made, which is the most interesting thing about it from a production standpoint, and the hidden cameras and everything.
I was thinking about that too. I heard a little bit about that, but
there was no crew on the set. The actors were performing. They would hide the cameras. They would set mics everywhere. There were no artificial lights that the actors could see, or that they even used. I don't think.
No, they didn't use a single light.
And then the crew was hidden somewhere else, watching it through a monitor, and the actors are just performing in the area in which the scene takes place, and they can't see the cameras, or the cameras are very minimal. And they just perform how they are going to perform.
Yeah,
almost like setting a play.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
But they're just moving around the rooms or the areas that they can I'm sure they set perimeters and lights and lines for the actors to be in.
The actual set is this person's the family's house, and the backyard's a large lot where she's got meticulously chosen gardening segments. Oh, here's what the lilacs are, and here's what the roses are, and she's giving somebody a tour of her mother-in-law a tour of the property. But literally on the other side of the wall is row houses of, concentration camp. And then throughout the entire movie, the stacks are burning and smoke's going up into the air.
Oh, that's chilling.
It's very chilling. I mean, there's a couple of moments in there that are super impactful. Some that are more obvious. Like the commandant is in the river with his small children, and he sees a mass of like the river starts turning gray, and it's like they're dumping the ashes in the river.
Oh.
And he has to like hustle to get his kids out of the water because they're just playing in human remains, basically.
Yeah.
But there's things that are much more subtle than that too. Like at one point he comes in from outside and he like blows his nose into the sink. He shoots a snot rocket into the sink, and it's all caked with soot because the air is full of literally bodies turned into smoke and dust.
Does it frame him as a sympathetic character?
No.
Like,
I know that's what you're really hoping for, is a sympathetic take on the Nazis, but that you don't get it here, Tyler. Sorry. I would hate to think someone thought that I'm a Nazi. Yeah.
Because I'm curious, because of the way you're describing this movie, it seems like does he have any guilt over what he's doing?
It's a movie. I mean, I haven't seen it, but from what I understand is that it just presents as is.
Yeah.
Like this was sort of the reality and the banality. It's like they're not viewing as like going back to the villain thing. Like they're not viewing it as this like they're doing a bad thing.
Right.
They're doing their job.
They're doing a job that they were assigned.
So it's not like there's not a redemption arc or anything like that. It's just like a
Tyler,
presentation.
again, there's no redemption arc for Nazis.
Well,
Nazis don't have redemption arcs.
I'm not saying. Well, that's not true. I mean,
that's not true. The Nazis don't have redemption arcs.
People can change. They don't have to be Nazis.
Where's the,
don't worry about me. I'm not racist.
Where's the more you know?
I wanted that at the end of it.
Anyways, but ultimately that was what I was like thinking. I was okay. So does this guy realize he's evil?
You gotta watch the movie.
I really do want to watch.
But you're not going to.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
You don't watch the movies I recommend.
Yes, I do. It just takes me a while.
Okay, you're gonna be dead in the ground by the time you catch up with all those.
Yeah, it might be.
So ultimately, did you enjoy it or like it?
I thought it was great. Yeah, it was fantastic. And so Unforgiven is, some people call that Clint Eastwood's greatest cowboy movie, like Western movie. That could not have been made without all of his body of work leading up to that, because he's basically playing this like a ruffian and roughneck and outlaw, whatever. At the end of his career, quote unquote career, I've done terrible things. I've done this, I've done that. And I know it's much more than that. Listeners, feel free to write me about why I'm wrong about that. But I didn't really like Unforgiven so much because I didn't have a long relationship with Clint Eastwood's career leading up to this point. I still never seen Fistful of Dollars or Man with No Name or Good, Bad, and the Ugly, all start to finish. I've seen clips and that's it. Westerns are a big blind spot for me.
Yeah.
And so when I watched it, I'm like, it's kind of good. And I've read a lot of like these 5-star glowing reviews about Unforgiven as like the cap at the end of the career of an unofficial character, which is Clint Eastwood in Hollywood at that time. And without having seen that, I lose a lot of the perspective of it. And like the greatness of that movie was completely lost on me. If you had not seen Schindler's List and Life is Beautiful and Jojo Rabbit and whatever other movies, The Boy with the Striped Pajamas, that are about the horrors of World War II, from whatever perspective, or seeing the atrocities of what it is, the Dyer Van Frank, familiar with that concept, Inglourious Bastards. If you don't know any of that, then this movie's going to be the most boring, lame waste of time you've ever seen.
Really?
Because all of the sounds that are happening off in the distance, sometimes loud, sometimes quiet, the burning stacks from these ovens lighting up the sky at night with orange because it's humans being burned to death by the hundreds in those buildings. If none of that, if you don't know that that's what you're hearing, that's what you're seeing, it's completely lost on you.
Right.
Your mind is filling in the gaps of all the stuff that the craziness that you're hearing out there with the most terrible things you can imagine. And there's a moment where you think it's going to go into it and show you, and it never does. So it's just told from the outside.
I like that.
Looking in.
So you could just be like, if you didn't go to school and learn about World War II and the Holocaust and have to watch documentaries or whatever. I mean, you could probably do with just that, but I mean, there's probably a lot of people who've seen those movies you just mentioned already. So
I think
this is.
I can't imagine someone doesn't have context for.
It's mainly like younger viewers or people that just haven't exposed themselves to that yet because they're not ready. If you just watch this without knowing all that stuff, it's gonna suck. This movie's gonna suck.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like everyone's gonna have a little bit of context. But what I think is the most terrifying part, like as you said, the bureaucratic evil aspect of it.
Well, there's a lot of like moments where there's meetings of these commandants and generals or whatever, and they're just talking about what their plans are. All right, we got more coming in. There's twice as many as last month, so we're gonna have to split them up between Auschwitz because this percentage, and these people get 80%, and blah blah blah. And they're like literally talking about how to process their workload,
right?
And how they've met their labor quotas. And it's like these are things. Yeah, these are things that
are human beings that you're talking about.
These are things that I've talked about in my work, meeting labor quotas or labor goals or whatever like that. And it's like, but their output is not fixing cars and helping people get back on the road. Their output is murdering Jews, by the thousands. And
drop. I really.
Please do not. Please have some sensitivity. But
there is no racial bigotry here.
I'm coming.
Oh God. So, all that being said, Sandra Huller is her character. She was nominated for Anatomy of a Fall as well for this, or in the same year. She is to answer your question, no sympathy in her whatsoever. She's talking, and the crazy thing about it is that they've built this beautiful house there over the course of years, and at some point in the movie, he has to be reassigned somewhere else, and he's kind of upset because I built this place with my own two hands, basically, and this house that they've cultivated is their like dream house for their kids to raise their kids in, but it's literally shares a fucking fence with Auschwitz.
Yeah, that's
and she doesn't want to leave. She's like, they're gonna have to drag me kicking and screaming out of this place. So he like, this is some spoilers here, but this is not a type of movie you can spoil, But he gets moved out to another place far away, and she's like, well, you can just go. You can just visit us when you want. She would rather stay attached to Auschwitz because she loves the fucking house. And to be the boss's wife, so to speak, with these like Jewish slaves, literally slaves in her house. That at one point she's like, oh, you did that to spite me. My husband can turn you into ash that's going to pepper this field, to one of the Jew slaves in the house. And she says it like she's telling somebody, be careful not to spill the milk next time.
Jonathan Glazer is himself Jewish too, the director.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yeah,
I assumed. But I read some interviews about him. The whole process behind making the film is interesting. He almost abandoned it because of the sorrow of creating a film like this.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't even imagine.
And it's like, and they're not even showing the things. I just imagine fucking Steven Spielberg making Schindler's List, how harrowing that would be. And the people on the production that are doing it. So anyways.
Imagine being, Steven Spielberg, I think he's Jewish.
Very Jewish, yeah.
Very.
Can
I play it now?
Sure, go ahead.
Steven Spielberg.
Oh, that's a Jew. Okay, all right, there it is.
When he was making Schindler's List, can you imagine just being that director of that ethnicity and like being Ray Fiennes in a Nazi outfit? Talking like it's just like the interactions.
Yeah,
I know it's like very professional, obviously, but it's just got to be. There's got to be some sort of layer of like weirdness about it. I know I'm not dressed as a Nazi, but I'm not actually.
Just so everybody knows, I'm not a Nazi.
I'm not a Nazi.
I'm not a Nazi.
I'm saying it right now.
And what's just also funny, like Taika Waititi dressed as Hitler, directing his scenes.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I'll say this. This is a type of movie that it adds
Friday night movie.
It really adds to the pantheon of like awareness movies for the Holocaust because who needs to be told about the Holocaust? Apparently, a lot of people who still think it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And still sympathize with the people that did it. Yeah. Some people that might be in this room right now. Oh my God.
Hey, I'm working my way.
Good. I'm proud of you. Maybe Nazis can be reformed.
Yeah, I think they can be.
But it adds to this pantheon of movies that you would it's like a go-to movie to like remind you of this sort of thing because Schindler's List is the far opposite side of the spectrum, and it's like maybe it's like a triangle. It's like the completely in your face and repulsive and like
The Pianist is another one.
Shocking. The Pianist would be up there with Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And then you have like the funny quadrant, which would be like
Jojo's Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. And maybe, what was the other one I said earlier?
Life is Beautiful.
Life is
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
And then you have somewhere in the middle, which the zone of interest lies, where it's like, it's not in your face, but use your imagination. It's like reading a book. If you can visualize it, if you can hear those sounds and visualize what's happening, it's terrifying.
Yeah, you can infer.
There's like what that like was like a saying. It's like it's what you don't see, but like,
Yeah.
like hearing can be worse, like because your imagination can just run wild more than what is just presented in front of you.
Yeah, and it lets you come to the conclusions that you come to. There's a lot of unexplained things in here, which begs you to lean into the movie and be like, why did they shoot that in black and white? Why is that shot in thermal or infrared?
Infrared.
Well, it's because number one, it's that the scene is taking place at night.
Yeah,
and they don't have any lights on the production. And maybe that one action that person is doing is the only positive of the entire movie.
Yeah. What I've heard is that portrayal of evil in this movie is like something that hasn't really been seen in movies.
It is banal. Their interactions, their conversations, and Sandra Holler playing the wife of the commandant is truly evil. She only cares about how all of this is affecting her, and it's been affecting her good because she's got fur coats she's getting from the Jews, she's got diamond jewelry, she's got lipstick, she's giving clothes away to her friends, so her friends love her, and they're like, I got this nice dress, I got it from France.
Yeah,
when she means a French Jew that was killed on the camp. You
right.
know? Oh, they think I actually mean Canada. No. And it's like she's, and then on top of that, when she's basically has the opportunity to leave and take all the prestige with her, she's like, no, I've built this. This is my home. This is me. And it made me think about like billionaires that are just fine with the way they live. And they're like, yeah, my life is great. I don't care that hundreds of thousands of people have to suffer to get me as rich as I am.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I don't know. It unwrapped a lot of thought to me. So that's Zone of Interest.
Sounds very thought-provoking.
Yeah, that's Zone of Interest. That's streaming on Max. Watch it if you dare.
Good sound design from what I hear.
It's very good. Yeah. And you don't have to, if you don't have your headphones in, turn the volume all the way up because the sounds are very subtle.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Cool.
So, Tyler, you got anything else you need to bring to us?
No, I believe that's it for myself.
Joseph, you good?
Good.
Okay, so thank you to our cool-ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather Sachs, Ryan, Corbin, and Chris. And thank you, Javier, for last week for filling in for Tyler. Fake Tyler did a banner job, did a great job. A lot of people wrote in to say they did a fantastic job, and we were happy to have you. So thanks, buddy. And then also thank you to everybody watching on YouTube Live and otherwise, and the OG listeners in podcast land. Until next time. There it is. Thank you for following us as we gab and chatter. Follow us later on in the week as we watch Windy City Heat. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class and leave us a voicemail, why don't you, at 209-730-6010. I don't know why I deleted it.
Follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
That's right. Check us out on the YouTube page at Middle Class Film Class.
Yeah. Name of the show.
Yeah. You can't escape us. All right, see you next time.
See ya.
time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call!
Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller? Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You're mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Welcome to Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Pete.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Joseph.
And today we are reviewing my pick from the Wheel of Destiny. Today we're reviewing my pick, Windy City Heat.
This is a fan-made trailer.
You're going to have to scale it.
Yeah.
This is my town, Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. The land of big hearts, big
Turn that
souls,
volume up.
broken dreams.
I want to explain this again. Red bat is the wooden bat. Don't hit Perry. Don't hit the money. You'd hurt his head.
Don't hit the money.
You got smacked in the head with that.
Didn't even give me a Hey, Dan. What? Where's Perry? Right here, goddammit! Open the fucking door! What the hell are you doing? Thanks for locking me on the fucking patio, asshole!
You're reading for the role of Stone Fury. I'll tell you a little about Stone. He's a hard drinking, hard talking, hard living tough guy.
Oh God, that scene.
Poor Barry.
Windy City Heat.
What a bunch of fucking morons.
All right. A very minimalist trailer there for the for Windy City Heat.
I don't know if there was actually an actual trailer for the movie.
Every clip that I'd seen promoting it was promoting like as if it was a Comedy Central like an episode of something. So it was like Comedy Central presents here at 8:30 Windy City Heat. So yeah, Windy City Heat. This is my pick from the Wheel of Destiny. This is starring Tony Barbieri as Mole, Don Barris as himself, Jimmy Kimmel, who is a very small role, and of course the star of the show, Perry Caravello, aka Scary Perry, as Stone Fury.
Yeah,
and this is a like a spiritual predecessor to something like Borat or I don't know, Jury Duty.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like everybody is in on the production except for Perry.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is directed by Bob Goldthwait, who a lot of people only know him as an actor, but he's got a pretty accomplished directing background.
Oh, really?
He directed Shakes the Clown in 1991, did a bunch of, basically the entire series of Crank Yankers, 42 episodes of The Man Show, 6 episodes of The Chappelle Show, this Sleeping Dogs Lie, which has the most bizarre premise. Do you guys know what the premise of that movie is?
No, I've never heard of it.
If you have delicate sensibilities, fast forward 30 seconds. But the premise of Sleeping Dogs Lie is a man walks in on his girlfriend blowing their dog.
Ooh.
And the rest of the movie is the fallout that happens from that.
I'm coming.
And
consider me a route.
World's Greatest Dad, start with Robin Williams.
I've seen that.
God Bless America, Willow Creek, and then a bunch of other stuff, more recently. But so he's an accomplished comedic director, and he plays a director of the fake movie in this actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on IMDb, this is called a TV movie because it's produced by Comedy Central and never had a theatrical release. And this is Comedy Central Films that did South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut was their first one, and this was their second movie.
Oh, okay.
So very short run. They had like drawn together the movie.
They had a drawn together movie?
Reno 911, the movie. Strangers with Candy, the movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their own properties that they spun off into something else. Yeah. But this one particularly was also produced with Jackhole Productions, which was like Johnny Knoxville and all those assholes, you know. So that's kind of the long and short of it. The reason I picked this from the wheel or to put on the wheel is that I don't think anybody knows about it. And I've heard about it. And I've seen clips from it. And I thought it was a great concept. And the character, I think, is hilarious.
The real person.
Yeah, the real person, and we'll get into that later. But just this idea of just fucking with one of your friends on like this ultimate level is so funny to me. Like the idea of like making this. There used to be a
it's like this elaborate scheme.
There was this show on ABC or CBS or something like that. That was
what would you do?
Oh, it was the WB. No, it was the WB, where they it was like a star search for like American Idol, but they picked the worst contestants. So they bury bad singers and convinced them that they are winning.
Oh.
And they sent home all the good singers and they kept the bad ones. And they did all the worst things you're supposed to do.
Interesting.
Is they said, oh yeah, practice with the headphones from the real song on. So they couldn't hear themselves singing.
Oh, no.
And then it was basically they would put them on like a full live performance for the whole show and watch these terrible singers giving it their all. And it was such a mean-spirited show because by the end of it, you're like, hey, you're the biggest loser. And then they revealed that the show was actually about bad singers.
Like, oh.
So is the goal to be the worst singer?
They think the goal is to be the best
No,
singer.
but like the premise, how they chose the winner.
They would vote along the worst people to the next round.
Okay.
So at some point, a girl gives a pretty good performance, and she's like, "I really gave it my all."
And so they
kick her off for it.
Wow, that's some fucking messing with your head.
It's on
and
the
their
level.
ego.
Yeah, it's on the level of The Swan, that reality show where they would give these ugly women makeovers and then reveal them to their family and friends 6 months later.
Yeah.
Terrible filming, terrible television. So this is kind of in that vein where it's like, is this okay to make fun of Perry for this? I don't know, but it was fucking hilarious. So let's give some initial reactions. All of our first watches.
Yes.
Tyler, give us your reaction to Windy City Heat.
Before you say anything, Tyler, adjust your mic. It's covering your face.
Oh, my apologies.
Well, he got to be on. He's got to be on the mic though.
No, but the way it's positioned is like the arm is right in his face.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I wrote a letterbox review on it.
Oh, hello. Come along, won't you? As Tyler reads his own letterboxed reviews. This is me, myself, and Tyler.
All right.
Okay.
Very good. Let's hear
it. It goes like this. This film is very funny and well acted. The writing and timing and gags are comedic gold. Although they want us to think that Perry is being pranked the whole time, there's tells that he is in on it. I don't mind that he is in on it because the way he acts is completely believable. I think in the very beginning he thought it was real, but when the hijinks started, he rolled along with it. I would definitely watch this movie again, and I don't think there was a better time watching this movie feeling slightly tired on a rainy day with a bowl of pasta and a glass of cranberry juice to have a good hearty laugh.
Pasta for breakfast.
Would 100% recommend. The ending lulled a little bit, but not too much. If you can suspend your disbelief and think that this guy is ignorant to the joke, it makes it very funny. Solid A-. And I gave it 3.5 stars.
All right. You don't think so? You don't think Perry's in on it?
So you think he knows that it's a joke?
Oh yeah, he does. There's absolutely no way that you wouldn't suspect. Like, I mean, that, like I said in the review, like in the beginning, he was.
Where does it turn though?
Where did
it turns when it starts getting when things start getting more extreme.
Be
like
more specific.
Like with the characters who are involved with the prank, and like, plus, I mean, come on, like you have to be self-aware that. One, you're not gonna be a star.
We just got done talking about that show where throngs of people thought they were great singers and they were winning this competition.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched American Idol?
Yeah, I have.
You heard those terrible singers that think they're there. They say, "I'm here to be a star. I think I have what it takes."
Yeah, but this is a little bit different because it's on set, and you know, like the director guy, he's like wearing like the classic like 30s like director pants and stuff, and he's like talking through a microphone like a megaphone.
Yeah,
like
the
the
Perry's
whole time.
ignorant to that world.
I no, he isn't. He because he has done comedy, so like I think that at a certain point I read on IMDb on the trivia that he like admitted that he knew what was happening, but he just rolled with it because he thought it was so funny.
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you say that in retrospect, having to try to avoid the ridicule?
No, I don't think there would be any ridicule involved. I mean, it was just the timing of the gags it was too perfect for someone to not be aware of be self-aware of like the situation that they've been put in.
Do you think that Tommy Wiseau knew that he was making a bad movie when he made it?
No.
He thought it was legitimately great.
No, there's
and then when the reviews came out and everyone was laughing and he was pissed off about it,
and then he leaned in on it.
And then he said, "Oh no, it was supposed to be a comedy."
Yeah, because he leaned in.
Oh, he did say that? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he changed the narrative on it.
Yeah, but anyway, so like I thought he was in on it, regardless of the fact that whether he was or wasn't in on it. Like I was dying. Like that was such a funny movie. I was howling.
Oh, good.
So yeah, great stuff, Pete. Great stuff.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Joseph, what's your take on Windy City Heat?
I mean, there isn't much to be said other than like I thought it was really funny and like the nature of this elaborate and very in-depth prank that they're pulling on this one guy who is so gullible. I think that he is. I think he is. I mean, I don't want to infer anything, but of someone of that nature who wears the same outfit all the time, has to have that specific kind of hat, has to have that specific kind of jacket, has a very specific idea of the type of life that a star has and what a quote unquote star does.
Yeah.
Is they're cut from a certain cloth. That they are a unique human.
Yeah. Harry is unique.
Is a unique human, and I don't think that he was aware of what was going on at all.
Yeah,
really.
I think because
you don't think it was an act?
No, I think that is just him. That's just who he is, and the reactions that he would when he got really irritated or upset,
he started screaming.
I don't think you can pretend to do that. I don't think you can act that.
His screaming would go high.
I don't
when it goes to the top register.
Because the way he speaks, he has kind of this raspy, whispery voice that he doesn't get loud. He just kind of he's like a debarked dog.
Yeah. It lacks the diaphragm.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, when he gets really, really agitated, and it's interesting what the things that he does get mad at.
What? Yeah, when he starts screaming.
Yeah, at certain things, but not others. Where it's like, why didn't you get? Where was the big reaction for that? But you had this big reaction for this other thing that was much smaller comparatively.
I think when he got hit in the face with the basketball and then barely reacts.
Yeah.
And they did the slow-mo.
Yeah. I think they just knew how to grind his gears, obviously, and I knew how to get under his skin. It felt I think it might have been a little exploitative.
Oh, for sure.
The joke, right?
Yeah.
For the joke of fucking with this guy. But I mean, it is really funny. Is it ultimately harmless though? Because that's like a good prank, right? A good prank is harmless in nature.
Yeah.
And
do you think he suffered because of this? Besides the
I don't
fucking
know,
with him,
because I saw a little bit more extra footage of him watching this movie.
Yeah,
and he was laughing along,
and he was like, he had no reaction to the reveal that it was not real.
Yeah.
And
did you watch that, Tyler?
Yeah.
The after
of
him watching the movie after it came out on DVD.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he had a couple of laughs in there, and I think he took it in spirit. Like if that happened to me, if you guys did
just
that,
a yes or no.
If you guys did that to me, like I would I might have a heart attack from laughing too hard.
Yeah, I just think I still think that he was not aware of what was going on even after watching it.
Yeah, so you don't think he was in on it?
At that time, no. I don't think, even after watching the movie that we just finished watching, after he watches it, I still think that he was like, because the movie doesn't portray it as a prank. Other than the very beginning.
The little text on screen saying everyone's in on it except for Perry.
It looks like they are making a movie, and it looks like they're just like it doesn't say like, it's not like Ashton Kutcher's like, okay, we set up this table full of food and we're going to say this guy, Mr. Takahashi Nagasaki or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
And he's gonna come in and he's gonna. They don't like explain it, like they don't set up the joke. It's just like they're filming a documentary about the making of this movie. That's what
Right.
of this fake movie, which I want to see the real movie.
I know.
We only see scenes of it.
Yeah.
Because those scenes were so funny. Some of the funniest stuff in the movie comes from the fake movie.
Yeah. He plays the drums.
Drumsticks.
What does he say?
Stick and stones.
Yes,
Yeah,
sticks and stones can break my bones.
And like the whole end of the movie he's like my hometown, Chicago, Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. And, it's just, and the way he delivers the lines are really funny because he can't act, but it's
Yeah.
but yeah,
Compares himself to Marlon Brando.
but yeah, only one other person has done this. It was Marlon Brando.
That sounds like something Trump would say.
But yeah, he has like the clown hair,
Yeah.
and his
fedora.
his homophobia.
That was the fun.
God, it was a very funny movie. I can see how it would be, how they could like turn it into a show, almost
Yeah.
like an Idiot Abroad.
They'd made a podcast called The Big Three, and it was a lot of the same sort of this. It's like, let's try to have a show, but then we're constantly fucking with our friend to get the craziest reaction about it. But they're not trying to get to the next story. They're just riding out the wave of Perry screaming his head off over whatever.
They're just trying to irritate him the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I was with Tyler.
I was gonna say the difference with us is that I want to get to the next story. I don't want to get derailed.
But yeah, it was very entertaining.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Windy City Heat. It's fucking hilarious. It's very funny.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Like I can like now, I have something in the bank of my head to think about when I need a good laugh.
Yeah. Him screaming when they like dogpile him, which is a very like juvenile thing. I remember, in high school, when you were trying to like piss off one of your buddies, and he's like Kevin, we'd be playing video games at Kevin's house, and we'd be just sitting on the couch upstairs in his room, and he'd be playing video games, and like 2 or 3 of us would just dogpile on top of him while he's in the middle of like the boss. He was just trying to fight, He's like, "Hey, get the fuck off me! Get off me! What are you doing? Get off me!" And we're like, "What? Is this bothering you?" And you're just like laying on top of your friend. It reminded me of that. But they're just picking the one guy they know is going to get the biggest reaction out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's their comedy gold. He's their wild card.
Yeah. We all have a friend like that.
Yes, we do.
I was like, whose friend is that?
And it's like, there were definitely moments where I was comparing Perry to Tyler.
Especially the homophobia part.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah. It's not a 1-to-1 comparison, Tyler, I will say, because you blame a lot of your bad memory or your like inability to grasp basic concepts in the English language. You blame that on your mono. Right?
Your mono suffrage.
Right? So tell us about your bout with mono. This is relevant.
How is this relevant?
Trust me, it's relevant.
Tyler tells all.
I've already explained it on the show to you off and on air.
Fred Gwynn playing the judge in My Cousin Vinny. This better be going somewhere, counselor.
Yeah, it should be. It
Tell
should
me,
be.
what happened? The people who are new to the show.
What do you mean? What happened? I caught mono and then I suffered very greatly from it.
You lost years of your memory, right?
I did.
He's like, I did?
Is that a question?
I did.
Oh, okay, cool. So
5 months I was infirmed.
Oh, damn, 5 months. That's crazy.
Yes.
So this is the intro on Perry Caravello's Wikipedia page. Blah, blah, blah. Early life. He was born in Chicago, suburbs.
Chi-Town.
Park Ridge. Chi-Town. My town.
Hometown.
City of big shoulders and broken dreams.
Yeah.
He moved to his family to Southern California in 1974, and 5 years later, 3 weeks after getting his driver's license, he was injured in a car accident that put him in a coma for 3 weeks.
Wow.
As a result of the accident, Caravello suffered brain trauma.
Oh.
Is it all making sense now? Is it all coming together?
What is?
Now I'm really depressed.
So, when you're watching a movie like this, is it okay to laugh at your friend that has brain trauma because it's funny? I think yes.
I do too.
I
mean,
think yes, because
it's not cruel. Like it's not. It's
that's arguable. I mean, what they're doing to Perry is, in essence, cruel. They're literally fucking with him for no reason than just to get him pissed off.
Yeah, sure.
And to make themselves laugh.
Yeah, and there's a number of like scenes in the movie where he undergoes physical trauma, like getting the basketball to the face.
Yeah.
But it's like with Jackass, that's funny too.
Yeah.
But they're all aware.
But they're all aware of it.
Yeah.
And Perry's not. So, but then again, there's the line he says, "I'll do anything to be a star." Anything.
Yeah.
More star than an actor.
And then they just pounced on him like wolves.
Yeah, I mean,
They're like, "Oh, really? Okay."
It's like, is the fact that he's unaware of it, like if he was aware of it, he would be okay with it. That's kind of where I come down on it. Like, he's like, if this is going to make me famous, I don't care. He's wearing like a giant baby outfit in one of his like...
just the tidy whities?
Yeah. In one of his like, what's it called? His like portfolio video.
Yeah.
So, but when you're watching something like Dumb and Dumber, are those guys mentally, developmentally like stunted?
Yeah.
Or are they just dumb? Where's the line? Is it okay to make fun of the dumb people, but it's not okay to make fun of like physically, mentally handicapped people?
Well,
where's the line? And where's Perry in that line is what I want to know.
So what I think, well, first of all, I think Perry was very much aware of what was going on. Not in the beginning, but towards like production. I think he...
It's more of a hypothetical question, Tyler. But...
Oh, well. Where does it fall in the line? I don't know. Like, I think...
It's a hypothetical question.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm answering it. I think...
Are you a rhetorical question?
I think...
rhetorical, hypothetical, yeah, whatever.
Well, hypothetical is an answer. Rhetorical, you don't expect an answer.
Oh, okay, well, shame on me then.
Okay, well, I mean, I will give you an answer, and I'll say that I think that it's all dependent on, like, the relationship between the prankster and the prankee.
Yeah.
And if
he's not like a YouTuber that just stumbled across Perry.
Right, because, like, obviously... I did kind of a little bit of research on that crew, and like they all hang out, like they're all part of like the.
They've been in a group together for decades.
Like they all know each other.
They've been performing since 1988 together.
Well, it says like we've been fucking with Perry for 11 years.
Yeah, so like I don't think it's lost. I don't think it's lost on him to know like that they would create an elaborate scheme to fuck with him on this kind of grand scale.
So that's where I fall down on like, is it okay to laugh at this? I think yes, I think it is.
Yeah,
and Perry has, since the movie has been released and really nothing happened with his career, he's spun it off into this clown-like Twitch stream.
Really?
Yeah. Paravello Live. And he does Twitch streams like 3-4 days a week. And it's him in the same apartment
Really?
from he does the viewing party.
Oh my God.
It's clearly the same place, and you're just like
same cupboards and same. Oh my Lord.
And you just see him. He's like just reading. You know how they have something
20 years later.
You know they have Twitch streamers that their whole kind of bit is that they're playing video games while people insult them. You seen those?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
No.
There's a streamer called Queso.
Queso is the big one. Yeah. And he's a pretty big redheaded guy.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. And someone will send him a message and it'll just say like
something to do with weight.
Yeah,
usually.
a fat joke, and it's like Kendrick Lamar food or something like that, and you're like, he'll stop and read it and like yell about it, how it's disrespectful.
Or he'll be like,
"All right, you're banned.
Please don't eat my family."
Yeah,
you're banned.
Yeah,
get this guy out of here.
Chat, we got our first ban of the night, and then he'll ban, quote unquote ban him. But to get the message read, you have to spend like $5 to get it read on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, he's making a lot of money.
Perry's doing the same thing where people will write in and ask him, will you shave your chest live on the show? And he's like, I will not. I'll never do that again. Because that's how
I'll never do it again.
Because that's how him and Don Barris met. Don was running open mic at a comedy club, and Perry was an open micer. And Don said, I'll bet you $100 you can't take your shirt off and shave your chest dry, no water, no nothing, on stage. And that's how they became friends.
Oh,
did he do it?
God.
Yeah, he did it.
Oh, okay.
So
that's $100, man. That went a long way back in then.
Yeah. Anyways, I also do not think that he was even aware of what the joke was. Not only during the filming, but when we watched the viewing party after the fact. If any of the three of us, Joseph excluded because he knows a lot more about how productions happen, but if you like me or you were to go on a set and we spend 3 days shooting like maybe 20 scenes. They'd only show like 4, but I'm assuming there's more. So maybe like 10 scenes, 20 scenes or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that enough to make a feature film? We would know, right?
I feel like we're a little bit more aware of it.
Yeah, we would know. We would say, well, that's all my scenes. I'm the star, and there's 20 scenes, 15 scenes with me in it.
Yeah.
And we're done in 3 days. Don't shoots take like months or something? He has no self-awareness with that. And then if you were to shoot it and you say, oh, it's a minimalist thing, the hero's only in it for a small part of it. Okay, that's great. You're expecting, where's my 90-minute movie that's made out of the footage we shot? And your friends come, who are producers of the movie, and they put the disc on, and there's no 90-minute movie. It's a behind-the-scenes making of the movie.
Yeah.
You would go, where's the movie, though? Weren't we going to watch the movie, not the behind-the-scenes? These are all normal things that you would react to with a person with of like mind and sound, heart, watching this thing. But Perry doesn't. He's just so excited that he's on a movie.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't even realize that it's like, this is not a 90-minute narrative movie about a sports detective from Chicago solving murders.
Yeah, he's a sports PI.
Yeah. So
my guess is that like they filmed those scenes, but they were like, and that's the reason why they were late to the premiere, because they only have 20 minutes of actual.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. I inferred that.
They essentially made it short.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
I mean,
there's no possible way Perry's in on it.
With that point being said, yeah, you know what? I think I can probably see that he wasn't in on it just due to
all the things that he said.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, loved it. Thought it was great. I'm glad we were able to talk about it. Any specific scenes you guys want to call out?
I don't have no specific scenes because they kind of all were just
blend together. I really like the scene where the homophobic scene and
really Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob.
Yeah,
as the gay costume
like
designer or whatever.
He excuses himself to the bathroom and he's wearing a goddamn thong. And then they have like the hidden camera like in the corner of his trailer. And he's just sitting there fuming.
Yeah, wearing the thong.
I also liked that, just to piss him off, as soon as he went into the dressing room, Tom Kenny's character immediately opens the door and is like, I'm just sorry. I just wanted to apologize. Get out of my room!
I mean,
and then they break in with the other camera crew, and they're like, "Perry's getting a blowjob from the costume designer." He's like, no, I'm not.
I can't imagine having a friend like Mole.
God, that guy's the worst.
And like, but I mean, he's obviously doing it on. I mean,
just on purpose.
Everybody's doing it on purpose, and then the whole bat situation, like, why is the red bat there? Why do we need the red bat? And he's like, they like set it up, so he's like, he's not listening to the directions, and then he's like, all right, I'm ready to go. All right, don't make sure you don't grab. And he's like interrupting them the whole time, and he obviously grabs the wrong bat. And then even in the post movie, like they're all at his apartment,
viewing party,
and like, they're trying to gaslight him into thinking that he's the reason the food fell over.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was.
And he's like, here it comes. Like, rewind it. Here it comes. And he like jumps in his way every time that.
Look, you knocked it over right here.
And he keeps doing that over and over again, just to like really. And then he kind of starts believing that like maybe I did knock it over.
See, that's fucked up. That part's fucked up. Once you get into the gaslighting and you're like manipulating his brain, I feel like that's a little bit crossing the line.
Yeah.
But I'd say if I'm gonna like
makes for good content though.
That's true. If I'm gonna be talking to people about this or like recommending it to people, I usually show them the food scene, the table, because it's perfectly encapsulated. Number one, you have Bobcat Goldthwait as the director in the riding pants with the microphone,
always talking.
Always to the
them.
microphone.
He doesn't say. I don't say action. I just say act
and act. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And then the name of the backer of the movie is Hiroshima Nagasaki.
Oh god.
And that doesn't throw him off at all.
Also, the historical figure name Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah, the girl.
And
John
Quincy Adams is
who's
the financier,
who is voiced by Mole.
Tony Barbieri. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
That's why he has to leave the room every time he's on the phone with him.
Oh, I didn't even recognize that.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, Mole, get out of here. No one, we don't want you here. You and Perry's fight. I don't want him to come through on the phone.
Yeah,
we don't want you to start any drama. So he leaves the room, and then it's like, J.Q. Adams here.
It's got like that like sort of transatlantic British accent.
Same voice for the character of Nigel on Crank Yankers.
Oh, really?
He's the British guy that goes. Have you seen the clip?
Oh, I don't
you ever seen that one before?
I don't think so.
It's a whole bit about. I mean, the guy's actually very funny. I think that Mole is probably his least enjoyable character.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be very obnoxious.
I fucking hate Mole.
Yeah, I know. I felt so bad for Perry because you could tell like he was just seething every time.
I mean, when they make him drink the fucking pizza milkshake twice.
Oh my god!
And then he's lactose intolerant, and he's like, "I'll do it, no problem." And then they're like, "All right, let's go to lunch, everybody." He's like, "I don't want lunch. I had a good lunch.
I had a big lunch."
The fact that was the funniest part is that they made him not do it once but twice.
Yeah,
and he drinks the whole thing.
And he drinks.
It's not like a small. It's
what
funny
is it
because
like? It's like a raw egg, beer,
chow mein,
banana,
Chinese
chow mein,
food, pizza.
Oh my fucking.
It's the end of days smoothie.
Yeah, without the Pepto-Bismol.
End of days protein shake.
Yeah. And it's funny because he knows that in the script he has to drink the whole thing, but he makes it huge.
Yeah.
It's not like he broke off a piece of the pizza and put it in there. It's the whole.
He
It's
just
like
put the whole thing.
It's like 3/4 of a gallon of gunk in there.
And the first instance of like his commitment to that is the first scene that they shoot where they get the manure in. And they throw them in the dumpsters. Like it's not. Bobcat's like it's not dirty enough. It's not believable. We need some crap
and poo.
Let's actually let's get that. Let's get crap and poop.
Yeah, let's get both.
And he's like at first Perry's like I don't want to do that. But then he's like and then he commits to it.
Yeah.
And they just pour. I assume it was actual manure.
It looked like real manure, yeah.
Because it looked like soil.
With water in it, yeah.
He's like, it's not wet enough.
Get it wet. We want Perry to be dripping wet. And then he asked for the stunt double. Which sets up the sex scene.
Yeah.
The stunt double in the sex scene.
That was great because they make him think that they had actual sex.
Which, again, no one would think that they're actually having penetrative sex on set.
Yeah.
For
a not porn movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tyler thinks that sometimes when we're like, I think Dennis Quaid was actually drunk on set. I'm pretty sure.
He was. I think
exactly my point. You're making my point for me.
My favorite bit of the
now
whole.
You put the snakes in my house.
My favorite bit of this whole movie was the personal assistant always trying to give him food.
Yeah.
Burt Ward.
Burt Ward.
Yeah.
The guy who played Robin.
Yeah, in the original Batman series.
He'd always come up
like,
with that plate. He's like, he kept saying, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
I'm not hungry.
Well, the shot of him like standing far away with a plate and he's just like waiting
with a paper plate with random food.
He's like, oh, you want it now?
Just gesticulating towards him.
Yeah.
Should I come? He's like, no, stay right there. Stay right there.
And then Mole always taking the food.
Yeah.
Taking it from him.
I also like the scene where he has a conversation with the personal assistant and he said, he's like, you know what? If I want food, I'm gonna ask you, or something like that. And he has the headset in, and then he just puts his plate closer. He's like, no, I don't want food. And he's like, oh, sorry, I had ear replacement surgery. I can't hear.
Yeah. I can't hear because of this headphones. And he goes, what about the other ear? I had ear replacement surgery, so. Oh, okay.
Oh man,
there's a great bit about their writer, their demands basically for the food backstage.
Oh yeah, the motorcycle.
He has the accountant, for the fresh fruits, fresh berries, things like that. And the guy goes, the other guys.
Let's keep the list low.
Don and Mole, their lists were pretty reasonable. They're pretty small, so you might want to keep a little. We don't want them to get pissed off that you're getting more.
Yeah, he says shampoo.
Yeah, shampoo and conditioner. Then it immediately cuts to them outside, and Don pulls up on a motorcycle and goes, "Look at my motorcycle! I put it in my rider."
Yeah.
What did That was Mo. What did Don have?
Oh, a Rolex.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
got a
got a
Rolex.
Rolex.
Oh,
What
Perry
did
just asked for
you
shampoo.
Just the way he gets frustrated at people though is just so hilarious because everyone keeps like barging into his trailer or like they just like come into there and he's like, "Get out of my trailer! Get out of my trailer! What are you doing?"
Yeah, he's got a great scream.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, this movie had me in stitches. It was so funny.
A lot of great throwaway lines too. When they see Adam Carolla, he says he's on his way to what is it, Passion of the Christ 2 or something like that.
No, it was what you're thinking of is about the Jews and Nazis, the Jew prisoners and the Nazis playing basketball.
That's a different scene.
That was Schindler's List.
That was Schindler's List too. But there's also
Carolla. He had a dog with him. And he was going on set for a
it was like
gladiator buddy cop.
It was and it was called Eric Caligula or something like that.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of great.
And he gets offended that he brings up the Man Show.
Oh yeah,
because he just lost the Man Show.
Yeah, because he just lost.
Yeah, I just watched Man Show last night. It's great. I'm not on it anymore though, Perry. So kind of like opening a new wound. What else? Oh, his like feud with Carson Daly was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
he's a pussy.
Yeah,
that guy needs to die.
That guy needs to die. I loved the way that they introduced him to, because he dresses exactly like him.
He's like, oh, he dresses like that.
Oh yeah, because he was going for the part of Stone Fury.
Yeah,
and that's how Stone dresses because that's how Perry dresses.
Yeah, and then the refrigerator scene was great as well. Just like this huge hunk of a man coming in, and he's like, "Stone, they stole my refrigerator.
How much your food?" There is one moment where he talks about being homophobic, which is not the easiest to watch in modern climate.
Yeah.
Drops some slurs, and then he says in real life that he is actually homophobic, and then he drops very casually that he jacked off a producer and got a blowjob from a producer.
He's like, it's not the first time
He
that
sucked
it
my
happened
dick.
to me.
I gave him a hand job.
Yeah, and that's actually in his Wikipedia. In 1992, he says he was coerced into giving a hand job to a casting director.
Oh God!
Who in turn gave fellatio to Paravello.
Yeah, that's
so weird.
So
that's unfortunate. That's really
I know
sad.
that's a shame. So
it's really sad.
Now, question is Perry homophobic in real life? Well, let me answer that for you right now.
Oh, okay.
In 2020, the year of our Lord, where Donald Trump became our president, in that election,
who do you vote for?
In that election, Perry ran for president. In May of 2019, on the episode of Simply Don the podcast, which is Don Barris's podcast, he revealed that Perry would be running for president of the United States. Caravello stated he would run as an independent on a platform that includes abolishing money, building a wall from the Canada-United States border, the Northern Wall.
Okay.
Northern Wall.
Free healthcare. So there's
that. There we go.
Legalizing marijuana.
Okay.
And also that he supported abolishing gay marriage, and criminalizing homosexuality, and he would probably turn San Clemente Island into a gay prison.
Jesus.
Damn.
Those were his tenets that he was going to run on.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, with this context, I don't think he was in on it.
Well, because Don Barris even said that, has countered his declaration of
that he was in on it.
He said he was in on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you felt like your friends made a fool out of you, and you think everybody's laughing at this guy.
Yeah.
I was totally in on it. Yeah. It was
But
a great time.
I'm not stupid though. This guy seems like he's really just shut up.
There's only very small parts of Perry that remind me of you. Just very part. The gullibility a little bit.
Gullibility.
I feel like we can strong arm you into doing anything.
Yeah, you could.
You kind of fall for sarcasm a little bit. You don't think it's sarcasm when we're being sarcastic. Maybe
to a little bit of a degree. I do.
And I'll tell you, it's just a very small amount, because Perry is like an 11 and you're like a 4 on that like on the wild card
Wow.
scale. You know.
Okay.
Perry's off the charts.
Outrageous Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me. I like to go wild. Hey, look at me. This is normal. But okay, well, I mean, with that context, it's like, okay, yeah, no, he probably wasn't in on it. Like, it's. Do you think he may be on the spectrum or something?
That's what I thought.
Would it surprise you to know that Joseph and I made up all that information?
What? No.
No, we did not.
Okay, I was gonna be like, no way. I got parried.
Yeah, I
pontificated that maybe he was, but I don't like to just
diagnose people.
Think that about people who just seem weird.
Mm-hmm.
No, of course not.
Because it just. But at the same time, when he's wearing that shirt, and he's in this is in the post movie.
I think the shirt's slightly different. It's like a rotating cast of shirts.
But I'm saying he's wearing like a t-shirt and it's tucked into these jean shorts that are like almost capri length.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're jorts.
And he's wearing these like New Balances type sneakers, and he's got the white socks. I don't know. It just this
You're just describing like
baby. This is 06. This
you're
is
describing
06.
like a 50-year-old dad.
This is like most men.
And he's got the hair that he has and the way that he reacts to himself, because he's laughing at himself and he's enjoying himself the most.
Right.
When he's rewatching the movie.
He's also in shock that he gets women at all, because he says, I don't know how I do it, but I always have women. And he's like, I'm just as surprised as you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, I don't think he was aware. I think he's so full of himself now, just based on this information that I just learned, is that he's so full of himself that he really, truly believed like that he was going to be the next big thing. Yeah. In some ways, he kind of did.
Well, because even the pictures of like the people who auditioned, like Bruce Willis.
I know, like I'm better than Bruce Willis for an action movie, or what was? Yeah, it was like a action noir. Yeah, I don't even know what's and plus, you know what would have tipped me off too is like if they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna play a sports PI. I'm just like, a sports PI? What the fuck does that mean? A sports PI?
It's like a pet detective.
Yeah, for sports.
But for sports.
Yeah.
And then once the I guess the adult film producer shows up as the new financier.
What was his name?
It's like Yergi.
Yergi. Yeah, Yergi.
So that character, the actor, his name is Tom Stern, and he's remember that Alex Winters movie, Freaked?
Oh, yeah.
He directed Freaked.
Oh, did he?
That actual actor.
Wow.
He also directed, let's see here, Taste the Pain by Red Hot Chili Peppers music video.
Oh.
A bunch of Crank Yankers, Jimmy Kimmel Live TV series.
So it's like the same crew.
The Man Show.
Yeah.
16 episodes of the Annie Milanakis Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just...
And then, like, when he shows up, and then they just put the I guess the porn star in the scene. It's like she's just there looking.
She's
hot.
just looking hot.
Yeah, she's just sitting there.
And they like take over his trailer, and they make it think that they're having sex in his trailer.
I think I really
and Charlton Heston it's not actually him, but like that he's a person in the movie.
I like how he like took like the Spanish fly, and he's like, yeah, you know, like.
I thought this was gonna get me rock hard.
This is gonna get me rock hard in like just like a few seconds, and then
she just touches me. Yeah,
it's that fast.
It's that fast. And then when
I'm about to have the hardest boner right now.
And then when they're about to have sex, they're like, cut, and he's like looking around. He's like, okay,
stunts.
We need stunts.
Get stunts.
He's like, no, I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
I know. And then like the obviously fake boobed actress, like obviously,
yeah, it was very obvious.
But he was like so like flabbergasted when he saw her.
Oh yeah, he was getting a little rapey.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a creep.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he kind of does give off a little bit of a creepy vibe for sure. Not based on the way he looks, but just like his like
the way he reacts around women.
His behavior towards women, definitely very creepy.
Yeah.
So
I can come 3 times within 5 minutes.
Impressive. Very good. I'm trying to think if there's any other big set pieces that kind of reminded me of anything.
I was disappointed that like there was by the end of the actual movie that there was no reveal from like Bobcat. Like, by the way, this
all
was
been a
not
prank.
real.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's a great point because I was kind of waiting for that reveal. So
It was not like
We did it, guys.
yeah,
We made the movie with Perry in it.
yeah. I mean, the coordination they had to do to like get him to not realize it was a prank the whole time, like was that was a Herculean task. I'm assuming.
I'm curious as to how they filmed this, like how long it took. Like, were they filming every day, or was it like over a period of months?
I imagine they probably did it over the course of like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem, I mean, it seems like a pretty straightforward production because it's not like you're doing multiple takes on it anyways.
Yeah.
I figure they probably just shot many other scenes that didn't turn out as funny.
Right.
You know, there wasn't enough funny stuff in there to put those scenes in it in the final product of the movie. But
yeah, it was what was it, like 90 minutes? Like
Yeah,
that's a lot of time to.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminded me of like I wonder if this wasn't a thing, if we would have something like Nathan For You, because it's not a prank show, but those are the jokes, those business owners for sure, you know, and it's like obviously a ridiculous marketing scheme that Nathan Fielder is coming up with to promote whatever business, and it's just like let's we're gonna create the Doink It. Yeah. And you're gonna, and if you don't, and if we're marketing towards kids and we don't want kids to feel like they're babies.
Yeah. What's the worst thing a big kid can think of? That the other people think that they're a baby.
Yeah. And you're a baby if you don't have a Doink It.
Yeah. This was to me the kind of the foundation of all that sort of humor came from the Tom Green Show, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved the Tom Green Show. It was so different than anything at the time.
Yeah.
And it was on the streets comedy, and then you evolve into something like this, Windy City Heat, and then you have Nathan For You, you have Borat, you have the Ali G Show before that, obviously.
Yeah. Eric Andre.
And then Eric Andre.
Yeah.
Which is like the insane it's if you didn't think I didn't think the Tom Green Show could get much more ridiculous, but Eric Andre took like the psycho energy up like 10 notches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was believable by the public. It's crazy what people will like accept in their own reality.
Well,
like,
even the guests that go on the show.
Yeah, that's the insane part of the most insane part of the Eric Andre
I feel like
show.
there's no way that he can get new guests now without them thinking.
Every season, I'm like, how do they get these people? They know what they're getting into?
Yeah, don't they know about?
Well, now they do now. So like they probably would just roll along with the bit. But like
some of them are clearly there knowing what's up. Like Tyler, the creator, he knew it was up.
Yeah, he played along with it. He knew.
But then you get
Jeanette McCurdy. When she went on there, she did not know what she was walking herself into.
Didn't he get Stacey Dash too at some point?
Yeah.
And you're like, whose publicist is just like, yeah, it's a talk show. We're not going to look up any.
They had Lance Reddick on there too.
Oh yeah, Lance
Reddick. Maybe it's like the publicist is like pulling a prank on them, just like, yeah, I know what the show is about. Yeah, go on, it's great. It's very well revered.
That's a big that's a big risk to take with your client.
Yeah,
yeah.
Putting it on the Eric Andre show to get like to put like tasers in the seat to shock the guests.
They should get.
Oh yeah, that's what Jack Black. He kept getting shocked.
They should get Corey Feldman on.
Oh God, he would love it.
Oh, is he still alive?
He's still performing.
What do you mean he's still alive?
I didn't know. I thought he was dead.
No, that's Corey Haim.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Scary Perry, he's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Another small bit of trivia, which a lot of this trivia, it's impossible to substantiate.
Sure.
Especially on Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly. But
this is Perry editing his own stuff.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Dr. Drew of Adam and Drew from like Loveline, he claims that he was told by Comedy Central executive that they had to stop re-airing the movie over fear of legal issues with the Americans with Disability Act due to the fact the movie's making fun of someone with brain trauma.
Oh.
And like, again, it just really toes the line of, is this okay to laugh at?
Yeah. He's still aware of the decisions that he's making.
Yeah,
it's not like he's completely innocent.
He's not completely lost.
It probably helps that he's not that likable of a person. Like he's charismatic. Like you're kind of drawn to him just
Right.
almost just like watching a train wreck, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not like he's a humanitarian, you know, feeding the homeless. He's talking about how he hates gay people and
How he
girls
wants-
with big jugs, you know?
Yeah.
So, do you want to go give it your grades and wrap it up, Tyler?
Yeah, I give this a minus. I think it was just such a funny movie. Like I hadn't had a good laugh like that in months. So yeah, it was great. It was great. A minus.
A minus. Okay, Joseph, how about you?
Yeah, I think A minus. Minus for like the lack of big show that they didn't make out of revealing the whole thing. I just wish I had that, but it was still really funny. Like, I mean, one of the more like unique movies. It's a concept that you would only see in a show, and to make a movie about it, it's like a documentary type movie, I guess.
Yeah,
is pretty good, pretty unique. Yeah, it was super funny. His reactions, and he's such a kind of a scumbag.
Yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah. It's I feel like it's okay to laugh at him.
Yeah.
But yeah, A minus.
All right. I'm gonna go like this is probably a B. I think that more effort being put into. And I hate to, like none of it's bad particularly, but there's some lulls in the movie that kind of leave me wanting a couple more bits, a couple more like insane moments, a couple more insane reactions from him.
Yeah.
The parts that I like the most are when you're just seeing Perry. Like I've been in situations where they're all supposed to go to the premiere, and he's waiting for his friends to get ready.
Yeah, we have to be there at 7:30.
Yeah, and he's like yelling at them, and he wants to get out the door. And I've been in those situations before. I'm like, I gotta be on time to this, and they're like, hold on, I'm almost done. Let me grab some cup of noodles. And you're like,
I would leave.
Yeah, we don't have time for the cup of noodles. And they putting him in those situations.
The phone being off the.
Oh yeah, I didn't want anybody to call here. So when we needed to get the other call,
Yeah.
And then the guy who's the limo driver, he's the same actor that plays Doofy from Scary Movie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's the same guy.
I didn't recognize him.
And there's like they stop at the liquor store. There's like the Indian
twins.
He brings in the daughters, and they're trying to get him to kiss. And it's like you're like, what is this?
We don't have time for this.
It goes so far off the rails, and it's like Perry melting in his skin. That part is so funny. But anyways, yeah, to be the treasure. People should watch it. And
definitely.
I'm gonna have the YouTube links because there's a couple really high quality uploads on YouTube.
Yeah.
In the show notes for this video, this episode. So, so that's it. Now it's time for the Wheel of Destiny. 1 wheel, 8 slots, 3 hosts. This is the Wheel of Destiny. All right, Windy City Heat's off the wheel. And I already tipped my hand last week when we had Javier on the show.
Oh, yeah.
That my pick is going to be Good Will Hunting.
Oh.
Good Will Hunting.
So his name is Goodwill, huh?
Yep.
Mr. Goodwill?
Okay. Love your store. But the overhead's really low on it. All right. So Good Will Hunting is my pick. Just a great movie that I haven't seen in a long time.
Oh.
That's why I'm picking it.
Okay.
It's been on my wheel choice list
And
for
I've
a long
never
time.
seen
Oh, you haven't?
You haven't seen it? Oh,
How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it like a couple times.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Seen the sequel.
What's that one?
Yeah, Good Will Hunting 2. Will Hunting Strikes Back. And Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Okay, cool. So let's recap the wheel. For those watching on the YouTube for the first time, this is the Wheel of Destiny. We got 8 slots, as the theme song says. So they go. Good Will Hunting from Pete. The Brave Little Toaster from Pete. Mr. and Mrs. Smith from Tyler. American History X from Tyler. Oppenheimer from Joseph. Charade from Joseph. A Very Long Engagement from Binge Lord Dan, a Patreon pick. And Fern Gully from MacKenzie, a Patreon pick. So we're going to give this a spin.
Minor.
Tyler, you want to call it? This is the
call it.
week. This is the week. I'm feeling it now.
It's going to happen. I can feel it in my balls.
It's Charade.
It's charade.
Charade.
It's charade.
I almost thought I was going to go on Oppenheimer, and I was going to be like...
Charade.
What's wrong with Oppenheimer? It won like 6 Oscars or something.
He just has a unexplainable stance on not watching it.
I just don't want to watch it.
From now on, you will speak only when spoken to.
What a weird stance to have.
I know. I don't want to watch it. Is it because of the bomb? Are you like protesting? No, I just don't want to watch it.
Well,
I don't like movies.
Well, I mean, that much is true.
Hell yeah.
So don't ask me why I put this on. It was a random pick from my watch list on Letterboxd. It's a classic, apparently. Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn, starring Walter Matthau, James Coburn, George Kennedy. Directed by a guy named Stanley Donen, written by Peter Stone. And the plot is romance and suspense ensue in Paris as a woman is pursued by several men who want to fortune her murdered husband had stolen.
Oh, interesting.
Whom can she trust?
Okay.
Streaming on Amazon Prime, BritBox, Roku, Hoopla,
BritBox.
Vudu, Tubi, Canopy, Crackle, Pureflix, and Pluto.
All right.
Okay.
Like everywhere.
Very
Jesus.
available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more. Classics, Shout TV, Fandor, Freevee, Distro TV. What the fuck is this?
What is that?
So this is
Sounds like something from Australia. Distro TV.
It's rocking a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. So it's
Interesting plot. That sounds cool.
It's an Oscar nominee for Best Music. So I guess
great.
we'll see.
Oh,
great.
Oh, great.
Wait, I'm not saying it's not a musical.
Okay.
A critically approved movie. A movie that's great.
God
Son
damn
of
it.
a bitch.
I have to watch a movie that's been declared good.
Now, since you have that, maybe you can watch a shitty movie and bring it to the show. See if it's any good.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, fellas?
I think that's
nope.
it.
All right, so thank you to our cool-ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather Sachs, Ryan Corbin, and Chris. If you want to support us on the Patreon, hit us up at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. All the links and everything else is in the show notes. Until next time. Thank you to everyone in the YouTube live chat, in the YouTube videos, everybody else in podcast land for following along. It means a lot. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail if you please at 209-730-6010.
And follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
That's right. Thanks for following us, everybody. We really appreciate the listens, the downloads, the view time. It really means a lot. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Ciao.